And
hello and welcome to the Star Wars News and Weekly Comic Recap presented by Tales from the Darkside, the show that talks seriously about Star Wars, except for all the times we don't. Tonight, we're covering 3 Star Wars comic titles, Star Wars 17, Star Wars Adventures 10, and Star Wars Adventures Ghost of Vader's Castle 2. We're finishing our review of Star Wars Visions with the last 4 episodes, The Good, The Bad, and The Misunderstood. In Star Wars news, our Darkside anchorman, J.J., reports on this week's breaking news, updates, and releases. Tonight, Star Wars marketing fails, Lego frights, GameStop covers, and Jedi's Star Wars week. All that and maybe more, you never know. So let's get it going, fellas. Someone should hit a button.
man, I got enough rest. I was all ready to go. I had everything. I practiced it 4 times, and that's what happened.
Forgot about the
actually
button
ready.
too.
Hey, I want to shout out really quickly just in case he's still in here. I know we usually wait a couple minutes to do some of our shout outs, but I want to give a big shout out to Ed. Ed, I know you can't stay. 4:30 sucks, but we appreciate you. We appreciate you coming saying that, and we'll catch you in the replay. We'll get everybody else in there in a little bit as soon as we're out of here. Oh, and thank you for the algorithm, Ed. All right, Jedi. Let's give the intros. Tell everybody who's here, who's not. What do we got?
Okay. Controlling the underground flow of Darkside contraband. He's the Hutt without the gut. He's Macho Man Marco.
Oh, I got that gut, bro.
His strength is unmatched, his growl fierce. But he breaks off Star Wars knowledge, not arms and legs. It's the gentle but still mighty Solowookie.
Yes, back from vacay.
He's the master of stating the odds and then betting against them. He's a walking, talking Star Wars abacus, the guy behind the curtain, J.J. Maxwell.
Hey.
He's back from his WWE sabbatical, where he created his signature move, the Vision Digger, a scrape to the eyes and a knee to the, well, you know. It's illegal, but very effective. It's Pete, the Visionary Renovision.
What's up, guys?
He's a serious thinker about serious stuff, like the impact of anime and manga on anime and manga fans. You know them, the animers, mongers, mangaist, animites, mangorians? No? Anyway, it's Sam, a.k.a. Triple Dodgeball. And speaking of anime, never again, ever, says me, J.J. Jedi Johnson 22. No more. See, I'm how upset I am.
That's how
Forgot
upset.
your own name, man.
How upset I am.
Good job, Jedi.
Overdosed.
All right. Hey, real quickly, Astro, good to see you. I definitely saw some of the posts he put up there. Make sure you're checking him out on IG. We're going to hit a couple of stuff next week. Chad, what's going on? Dusty, always good to see you. We already said hi to Ed. For those of you that watch Renovision or are Renovision now and watch the Totally Awesome Coolest Show Ever, I appreciate you all sending me recommendations to watch wrestling videos. I've chosen a couple of those to watch, and I will give you a full review of those at the end of TAC this week.
Oh,
it ain't
boy.
going to go well. All right. He who farts a lot. What's going on? May the farts be with you guys. Okay, cool. Awesome. That's awesome. I've actually been in a loop too of watching like Florida Man on YouTube. If you guys haven't watched it, like, you know how anybody in Florida is just crazy and they're always like Florida Man. That's the title of an article. If you get a second, watch that stuff in YouTube. It's pretty funny. Chad, what's going on? Good to see you. Did I already say hi, Chad? I thought I already said it, but we'll get another Chad in here. All right. So this week, did we go over what we're going over? We're going to do a little bit of comic review. Some of it's going to be short because we had a Star Wars book that was Star Wars this week. I just can't do it anymore. And then we've got some cool
We got
stuff.
that news thing.
Oh, we got the news thing first. Yeah. But are we doing show offs first or are we doing news things first? Who's got pickups? Anybody? We can move it to next week. Well, I can't move 2 things.
I got quick ones.
I can't move too much because what's his name? He was over here. He's going to be
Do a
mad.
couple quick ones. I don't need
Steve
to do
Horn.
it.
Sean, what's going on? Sean, you're the first one in there, man. I should have said hi to you already. What's going on, Shannon?
You said hi too early. That's the problem.
I know.
Big shout out to Thingamajiggets in my hometown, Fort Compton, Colorado. He had some good books. He picked up my old LCS went out, and he was able to pick up some really good books when he bought the out there stuff. So he had some new ones, and I just was in there and talked to him for a while and was able to grab some of these back stuff, and
It's cool colors.
Nice.
yeah. And Bosch, and then the old Afra Houndtooth. So I just picked up some quick, easy, light stuff. If you guys are in that area and you guys are looking for some good books, especially a stack of Star Wars, he picked up some good ones, and you might want to stop at the counter and give him a little chat and a little talking to and see what he's got in that back big file drawer.
All right, who's up next? Nobody.
I got nothing.
JJ, you got
got-
nothing. All right, so I got one thing.
Clean
Everybody,
shaven face.
yeah, look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, it's distracting.
Somebody had to go to court today. What
Yeah.
did you do, JJ?
Traffic court.
Dang it. Hey, I forgot to do this last week, but Horn stopped by. He's a great guy. He dropped off a couple things. You guys know that I love this book, Darth Vader First Print. I was really high on this one for a long time. So he just, as a joke, gave me another one, which is nice. I appreciate it. Steve Horn, remember, check out My Bargain Comics. And I think he does something on the Wood Knots too, so make sure you're following him.
There you go.
But Bargain Comics. That's my man. He also dropped off a couple more of these that we might be giving away with a new segment we might be doing next week. A little bit of trivia, maybe. We'll see. It should be fun. I do have one more thing. I got one more thing I'll show it to you. But it's going to also add to our next thing. We have this week, JJ blessed us with doing Star Wars marketing failures. And next week, we're going to do Star Wars toy failures. So I got, I don't know if you guys all ever saw the Bendables before. So I got,
Stretch Armstrong, Luke Skywalker.
I got a couple of the Bendables. I might go try to pick up a couple. These were the ones, I only bought the ones that had the Galaxy card, the Topps Galaxy cards with them. But I might go back. I mean, look at that Obi. Like, the sculpt on Obi is just amazing, huh?
That card is awesome, though. Look at that card.
Looks
Look at that Obi
good.
card.
I know. Maybe I'll open those.
The card is sick.
That's why I got
the
cards.
card.
There's a couple cards, so maybe I'll go back and check that out. By the way, also too, for all of you that are going to be around, Joe, what's going on? By the way, for all of you that are going to be in the Motor City area in 2 weeks, I will be at Motor City Comic Con. We'll actually give you guys kind of a lineup of a couple different dealers you can go to, say hi to, and that. But we'll do that later on. Okay, we have news. Pete, did I get that all done in under 10 minutes? We got that all done in under 10 minutes. We're right on track today. Let's ruin our timing schedule, Pete, and let's put up news today so JJ can go over that.
Do you have your papers to shuffle?
In the news, super quick. No, I'll be like one of those modern guys. I'll just use my phone or my tablet. Okay. So real quick, they did set an opening date for the super expensive Star Wars hotel. It'll open in March. So a little bit sooner, I think, than it was originally projected. But yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty quick. It's only a couple of months.
Yeah. So book now. $6,000 and $600,000 for 2 days.
That's
book
like
your
a
trip now.
year of tuition for my kids right there. Let's go.
That's
Let's do
great.
it.
We can all look
That's
forward
summer
to the videos. None of us going.
Yeah. I look forward to catching it all on Twitter or Instagram later. All right, next one. Real quick. This might end up in toy fails next week.
Yeah. He already had one. We're definitely putting the other one in toy fails next week. So.
Yeah. So, yep. Lucas gets this. Is this a 3.75? Right? I think.
No, this is the.
I don't know.
It's a 6.
This is 6.
Is it 6? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 6. Yeah. All right. So
Do we
6
really
inch.
need
Lucas.
another sanitation trooper?
Yeah.
There's a lot of toilets.
He sure extended the COD piece on that, huh?
Yeah. You think like they would have given him something better than just random stormtrooper?
Well, considering he's the one that didn't want the 501st to be recognized till what's her name had to force it in there, you'd figure that he wouldn't give him a stormtrooper. But whatever.
So is this going out to stores, or is this like only an order thing?
It is, isn't it? This is not exclusive. It's actually going out to like store, right?
Isn't it?
I read that.
Going straight to
I think it's Target.
It's Target, right?
Target
I think it's Target.
Warm
Yeah.
eggs everywhere.
It's going to be it'll be a peg warmer either way. because they're not just going to make like a one case of 6 of this. They're rolling out about 60 cases to each target. There's going to be, that target that never has anything in there, they'll have this shit there. I'll guarantee you that.
I still got a pack of bottle rockets. I mean, I might pick one or two up.
Some M80s. Can you still buy M80s?
It was $2.99 originally. Still got the original sticker on it. $2.99.
Are they going to make one of Kathleen Kennedy as the trash compactor monster or something?
He's not that, Joe. He's not that short. Come on.
Harsh. A little short for a stormtrooper. All right, next one.
Yeah.
All right, so this may interest some people or no one, I don't know. But Lego Star Wars Battles, which was kind of this like ill-fated tower defense game that nobody thought would ever come out, ended up landing on Apple Arcade earlier this week as a release. So
because they already had a Star Wars tower game out there already, so why would they come up with a Lego version?
But this is a Lego Star Wars tower game.
Well, I'm gonna play it then. To be honest with you, like, hey,
actually, news on it's been pretty positive so far. So I don't know. I might pick it up, but yeah. But if you're an Apple Arcade subscriber, it does come with it. So for all 5 of you out there that maybe Apple Arcade subscriber. All right, next slide.
All right, what's up next?
So this was interesting. Galaxy of Sounds.
This gave you and Jedi the warm and fuzzies, so we're letting you talk about it.
Just to mention real quick, but it was a surprise release, so I didn't tell anybody about it that I know of. But so it's an ASMR, which I forget what that stands for now after I looked it up earlier this week. But basically it's like audio visual, well, not so much visual, but audio stimulation kind of in a way. So a good thing to listen to while you're at work and all that fun stuff.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, basically, like JJ was saying,
women.
they just took.
Go ahead.
They took a lot of scenes, various scenes, and just edited out the soundtrack, the John Williams, and all the dialogue, and you just get all that background noise and sounds that you might have missed. I don't know. It was. Yeah.
I suppose
not something you want to
sure.
Sam, go ahead. Sam, go ahead. Go ahead.
Pretty sure it's just Princess Leia licking a microphone for 2 hours.
Yeah. Maybe opening hot packs of Topps Star Wars cards.
Yep.
This is a Topps Star Wars card.
Supposedly, if you have surround sound, it's really awesome. I don't have good surround sound, so I don't know. But.
I don't understand it. We should do it though. I mean, we should. We get tons of views. If we did that, we get like thousands of views. I don't.
You want to do live
these types of things.
You just have to have somebody whispering in the background, and then somebody else like tapping, and somebody glowing. Good.
I have to admit, I did listen to the
we're 10 minutes in. There we go, Joe.
At a Django's Slave One, the sonic charge that he drops on Obi. I do have to. That's my favorite sound in all of Star Wars. That bong that just rings through, and I probably rewound that and listened to that maybe 6 or 10 or 22 times in a row on this because it is very clean. It's very nice.
All right. Well, we'll give a review of SMX or whatever this is called. SMX.
I will just say, I'll add before we move on that given the choice of watching this or watching some other stuff we're going to talk about later, I might watch this all day long.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll review it next week. All right, let's go. What else are we going to do next week?
Next slide. So yeah, a little bit of controversy in Star Wars realm. You had Lucy Lawless did an interview where she came out and said that she was actually up for a Star Wars role before all the Gina Carano controversy happened, but the petition, at least in her opinion, might have been something kind of cost her gig because they were too afraid that she was going to be the replacement for her. So, and the petition was obviously to recast, or not to recast, but to rehire Gina Carano. So, I don't know, but we may never see Lucy Lawless in Star Wars now.
You can't do it because Lucy Lawless knows how to act and Gina doesn't.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the same. You got to find somebody who's equally got the physical fighting technique.
Until I found the side-by-side picture, though, they do look a lot alike.
Are we sure she knows how to act?
Have you seen?
I'm not sure either.
Remember? Go back and watch our reviews before Gina got fired of the one episode that Gina tried to act in.
I'm talking about Lucy Lawless. Are we sure she knows how to act?
Xena Warrior Princess, bro. Oh man!
I forgot about that masterpiece. Okay, my bad.
Are you out of your mind? Xena Warrior Princess.
Hey, between her and Kevin Sorbo, she beat Kevin Sorbo.
I get it. You're too old. You're too old. But for the rest of us young bucks that are in our 50s and 40s, she was.
I watched it, but I watched it for the redhead.
Going through puberty was a good time with Lucy Lawless. I mean, she had some great acting chops, and then we got to see her again in Rome. Like,
You sure that wasn't just your dreams, Marco?
No, she was great.
Why don't we just
You acted pretty well in your dreams.
Hire them both and then have this epic, battle where they all of a sudden
that's what it was
wrestling and
supposed to be.
grappling and tossing each other around.
Okay, all I know is
with some oil and some mud.
Okay, stop. All right, hey,
Jello.
this is a PG-13 show. This is MCM here.
Everything on the news has skewed this way so far.
Yeah, let's go real quickly.
Last one.
With this. Be honest. No, but be honest with Lawless. Lawless, at least, even in Spartacus, had some acting chops. Gina, great action person. She's the Van Damme of action. Don't let her say shit. I think that's what we even said during her episode. Don't let her say shit. Just let her fight and do action scenes. She's excellent. So yeah, I mean, I think they should bring Lucy on. I don't know
if either one's winning any awards, but yeah, I kind of agree. Lucy Lawless is probably the better actress out of the two, for sure.
Well, I'd like to see the fight scene.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Duba Law. We kind of clipped that already. Yep, got it.
Yes, adolescent me probably didn't watch it for that either.
No, me
neither. All right. So last thing was
Ash versus Evil Dead.
We finally got the date for Book of Boba Fett. So December 29th. Mark your calendars.
Wait a minute. Did we already say this like for the last 3 weeks?
But I think it was December, but I don't know if we had the actual
I thought it was
date.
Towards the end. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like they're really sneaking it in right there.
Man, I'm ready. Yep. I mean, I know we put a shoot on it last week about who was going to show up, but like, I mean, I thought it was. I'm actually more excited to see this than I am to see.
So that's a Wednesday, huh? It'll be Wednesday.
I can't wait to see Lucy Lawless in this. That's going to be.
Oh, David had to show up. Give us the quality con. All right. Well, let's bring it back in. I can't wait for this though. This is going to be a good show, I think. Right? I mean, I think we're all excited about it. Even if it's not that good, it's going to be kind of good. What's going on, the art chemist? How are you? All right, so that was news and stuff we're going to talk about next week, and because that's half the news is what we're going to talk about next week. Up next is so I changed the screen to the black to black screen or so. Oh shit! I screwed this all up. Now I got no clue. I just did.
What did you do?
I don't even know. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. So yeah, this is gonna work.
We really need to get that Monty Python intermission, the little screen with the...
I know. Well, okay, so I realized I got like 3 more TVs in this house that we've never used. We just put them in this back room just in case like a TV blows out or whatever. So I'm thinking like this whole like 10-foot area, I'm just gonna put another screen up here, but I hadn't got to it yet. So I'm trying to see the coloring thing to see if I can get it done. But in the meantime, let's go over here to this maybe. And we definitely don't want to do that
later.
All right, here we go. Getting into the great things that are comic book reviews. Listen, this week I'm not going to try to go through all these Star Wars. Obviously, you know my opinion and most of our opinion on this. It's a rehash 2 weeks or a month after we already know what's going on. I was only going to do 1 page, but I thought that's kind of disrespectful. Like it's not going well. I understand that, but maybe somebody's enjoying this book. So I'll give you this. Apparently, Darth Vader's TIE fighter can sit under ice water for an extended period of time and still fly perfectly normal. However, Luke is a way better pilot than Darth Vader and can make him crash and fall. And then Darth Vader will threaten Luke with a lightsaber, but not do that sweet action that we've seen him before, where he throws it and cuts the X-Wing in half and fights the guy because... I don't know. And finally, he'll just skid it out. And then apparently R2-D2 will talk shit to Vader, which whatever. And then Vader
R2-D2 is the ultimate troll.
Right. Absolutely a troll. And then Vader will take his time to pick his ship up. But don't worry, because the whole time, apparently, Luke has just been hovering above him, waiting for him to get his ship back up and chase him down and start shooting at him again. All right. I mean, look, I can't help with one more thing. Leia's just watching the Hutts that try to go after Han.
Yeah. Dusty wants to know about Luke's X-Wing underwater for years or decades.
Yeah. Well, no, that didn't have somebody in it. Darth Vader just sat under there with the engines running, I guess. I mean, I don't, guys, I don't.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. Can anybody
with the engines
that?
running?
I can't.
Carbon monoxide poisoning doing that.
Okay, well, I mean, I can't explain that book. If anybody wants to explain Star Wars better, feel free. I can't. I I bought one of the covers. That's the least book I buy now because it's so bad. All right, Ghost of Vader Castle 2. I know some people might not enjoy this one. I thought it was pretty good. Look, we're getting back in with the graphs. We told you about 3 or 4 weeks ago when we did the novel review that we think the graphs have a very important part because they showed up in High Republic. They've mentioned them a bunch there, and kind of like the competing. They're competing against the Santikas for like hyperspace lanes and stuff like that. We get Mayo and Lin again, Lina, Lina, whatever. We get those two again. Obviously, they were in the kids' books. Here they come out again in Vader Castle 2, which is good because they finally moved from other characters in the Graf family to them. Apparently, she has been a member of the Resistance, and she's hanging out with Maul and Leia, and they're just chilling. And she's like, "Oh, I had a bad dream about my brother, so can I take a bunch of can I use a bunch of the Resistance money and ships and go after him?" And they're like, "Well, we'll send you to go find somebody." They do this trippy thing. Look, man, if the rumors are true that IDW is losing, if they're losing the Star Wars franchise, it might be because they're doing shit like this. Like this book, the art and stuff is really for people who've been drinking or a little bit too high on drugs. But we get our friend. They finally bring him back around. We know Kevin likes him too. He actually, if you look at the Black Series, when they did a cover of his original Bring Back to Canon. We get Jedi's favorite character, Jackson the Rabbit. He's in a bar. He goes in and starts telling a story of a great Wookiee chief who will not let Jackson smuggle off fermented, pretty much berries that are like an aphrodisiac / wine to give to the Hutts.
Is it death sticks? You don't want to sell
it's like
I totally missed that in the comic.
Yeah,
It's
no.
Why is the Wookiee taking a dump on that guy?
Yeah, for the Hutts, but it's also kind of like a wine that's fermented, like these berries and stuff. It's kind of like if you've ever had Jedi, you were in the service. You ever have the rattlesnake sake or something like that? It's kind of a similar type thing. Either way, he decides to try to remember. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. That'll put you on some other type of stuff. He does try it, just like everybody does, and all of a sudden, we don't know if he's tripping or not, but he isn't. Apparently, Chewbacca turns into a giant demon Wookiee,
and he takes a dump on them.
No, instead he grabs the rabbit foot, that's kind of cool that we actually get to see the rabbit foot here. I don't think we've seen the rabbit foot since number 16 of the original Marvel run for Star Wars. So it's kind of cool. We get a new graphic of that. Then because he took the berries, he turns into one, and we get Rampage going on here where we get Jackson versus Wookiee. It was okay. It was pretty good, man. I liked it. A little kick there. Finally, at the end, I'm not going to ruin the whole thing, but Han then decides to take some berries to try to get at Jackson because somehow when Jackson kicked Solowookie in the guts, Solowookie fell on top of the Millennium Falcon, crushing it, and that's Jackson's fault. Either way, he says, "I hate Leia, I hate Han, and I'm not dealing with their tomfoolery." He might have actually said tomfoolery in this. I'm not quite sure, but something to that effect.
Well, shenanigans.
Yeah, the shenanigans. Did he say shenanigans? He might have. Okay. Either way, the last scene in there shows that last week when we predicted it probably wasn't Darth Vader, it actually wasn't Darth Vader. Milo gets delivered to actually a character we're going to see a little bit. It's the acolyte for Vader. All right, there we go. We'll see a little bit later in some of the stuff we review. Next up, Star Wars Adventure 10, the disappointment that is Star Wars Adventures 10. And not because it's so bad, but just because I think we wanted more out of this. We get the second half of the Mace Windu story with the ghost. Remember, he
Covers Connect?
Yeah, the ghost. Yeah, the cover connecting one. It is a 2-part. It's done after this, unfortunately. I will agree with Gonzo that the drawing is a little bit awkward. Once again, might be a reason why they're losing these properties. If they are, I think we're going to try to get Tony on and maybe, talk to somebody over there like Antos and see if he can get the inside scoop for us. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, are they...
Go ahead, Sam.
Are they trying to hark back to the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars?
I thought they might be with this book.
That's kind of what it's reminiscent of.
Also, too, like the target audience is not adults necessarily for these books, so it's like, are kids like really scrutinizing the art that harshly? They're like,
yeah, but is this attracted to like teenager kids or like youngers, like 12 to like the preteens, or is this like because it's not for little kids. Either way, they're back on there. We got Argon, the little battle. Remember, what were those toys where you could put the you put your thumb on it and it'd tell you if it was like wood or fire or
Oh,
what were they? Battle beasts?
Well, yeah, the battle beast.
Yeah, doesn't he look like a battle beast? He really does. Anyways,
I think those were matches.
Now that you said it,
I think you were playing with matches. Not toys.
oh, eating page chips.
battle beasts were awesome. You got
Battle
all
beasts
that
were
battle
really
beasts?
dope. I still got some battle beasts, man. There was some cool fight scenes. Not quite when he was fighting Dooku, because Dooku left really early in it. But when he was fighting the droids, we got the
disco.
little mushroom squid ghost things again. They did get into a little element that was kind of interesting. I always like when they base stuff in Star Wars off of like historical or factual based stuff, and it's kind of like the Argon figure thinks that he talked to these quote unquote ghost figures, spirits, and because he told them everything was okay, that's why they turned around. And at the end, one of the troopers like, "Hey, Mace, why don't you just break this dude's balls and tell him like, nah, for real, those are like some subterranean species that come up during eclipses." And Mace is like, "Because my man's got faith and he wants to believe in something. Why would I wreck his day?" I thought that was kind of cool. But whatever.
I just can't get over why they drew Mace like Ben Grimm. Like, what's with the brows there?
Right.
He looks
Yeah,
like the
I mean,
Thing.
that's not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about anything in that. Next up, we have got another group that I wish they would have done a little bit more with too. I was actually really disappointed that they ended this because I was hoping that they'd give us more on these characters and probably a little bit more Mace Windu and his squad. But they don't feel that it's necessary. So we got Zach and Tash, Aranda again. These were the ones that were originally. This is like, remember last time we said this was the first time they showed up in canon. They were legends. They're the two kids that survived Alderaan blowing up, pretty much. Either way, they find a Jedi artifact, and something interesting happened in this book too. Then they end up falling down a hole and running up into an enormous amount of Sith acolytes, just like roaming underneath here, trying to get the Jedi artifact. So I
Not
thought that was kind of
oversized
cool.
Jawas.
No, they're freaking Sith. Weren't they? Did
They
everybody
look
else
like
think they were Sith
Jawas.
acolytes?
I assumed by the way the weapons they wield and stuff, they were something like that. I don't know.
But then there was like some spider thing they were protecting themselves. It was really confusing. They used that to blow stuff up, and then they got up and left, and that was the end. And so that's, I don't know, man. I was a little disappointed. But Ghost of Vader's Castle. Next week, we got one more, and they're going to bring back the people from Return to Vader's Castle. They're going to bring back that crowd. So hopefully we'll have a
Gimli?
little bit more.
And the one on the left. It's like Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
It does.
No, he was. What's his name? He was in Return to Vader's Castle, the last year series.
Was he?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Still looks like Gimli though.
Does look
Okay,
like Gimli.
they're also gonna have a Luke storyline, so we'll see what happens with that. Oh, next week, Quark, whatever his name is.
Quark.
Remember, we've been telling you about this one for a while. This is supposed to give us his backstory. This coming up next week, so hopefully we get it. Hopefully it's cool. I actually, you know what? If they give it to us, which they say they're going to, hopefully it's cool. I guess that's what we're crossing our fingers for. But it does seem like the regular High Republic Adventures has always been good. So hopefully we get what we want.
Why do they make him look like Darth Krayt?
Hopefully that's what they're going
There's
to tell
gotta be
us.
an
Yeah,
excellent-
There's
hands
gotta
are
be an
bandaged,
explanation.
mask, everything.
They said it was a mask. They did say it was a mask.
Even the hands being bandaged. I mean, like that's a Darth Krayt thing. Like,
It is. It is 100%. Like I said, hopefully we get our answers next week. I'm trying not to jinx it, guys. I'm just trying not to jinx it. Okay. We also get Monsters of Temple Peak, number 3. There's supposed to be, what, 6 of these, JJ, correct?
4. Got 2 left.
4. Okay, so we get another. I mean, but this
One
isn't
more.
for another 2 months. So if they are moving away from IDW, it won't be for 6 months. And last up, we get Star Wars. There's actually 2 covers. So this storyline in War of the Bounty Hunters, Star Wars, which is the regular Star Wars number, what is this, 19 now? Leia's going to run into Kira, and they're going to talk about Han. Great. Cool. Sounds awesome. But they do have 2 of
Real Housewives. Of
Yeah.
the
they have
Tatooine.
they can only kill, I mean, they can only kill their mainline book so much. I mean, but they will have 2. I mean, I know you guys hate the book on the left.
I do.
But I was gonna
It's so
forego
weird.
buying this book completely, But then I saw these two covers.
Like, they
The
didn't
only
even
thing
center
I'm
him. Like, what's the point of that?
that's how they all have been. I mean, that's how they've all been. The only thing I want to remind everybody, you're going to see this cover a lot on the right. Do know it's the Sprouse. And what happens with Sprouse covers, guys?
Bad trade dress.
Very
Look at that
bad
gold
trade
border,
dress.
right?
For
Yep.
those people that don't
Border trade
know,
dress.
let's go back. Should we go all the way back? I should probably go all the way back just in case. And I can't do
Oh,
the...
jeez.
Yeah, Jesus,
It's gonna be a long
Jesus. I know, this is
It's
probably the
all
worst way to
back.
do this.
We're gonna have to go all the way back.
It's like Harold and Kumar
That's
go to
all right,
White
I'll go
Castle. They're like,
faster.
oh, it's way back there.
Right here, all the way on the right, the 50th Lucas. That's what they're going to do. They're going to do that to that book. Just so you know. Just so you're not all bent when you order 5 of them. You're like, what the hell did they do? They cut out half the...
They made it look
Got
like
the
a
book with
crappy
the trade
trading
dress.
card.
Yes, that's what they've been doing. Unfortunately, the
Our
Sprouses
comic
have looked
review
off.
has become Metroid, where we have to go all the way back to the beginning
Whatever.
to get something. And then
whatever. Hey, if you could do it better, please do. So there we go. I thought it was going to be an awesome cover. It's probably still going to be a cover people wanted, but do know about all the way up to Sabine's arms probably going to be cut off. They're going to cut off the bottom part of Chopper, and we might lose a couple fingers on Zeb.
Maybe.
But the ghost will be in the background.
Chopper?
Yeah, but the ghost will be in the background, so that'll be cool. What is that? Oh, hey, do you guys see this? Did you guys notice what that is in the way background? This is Lothal.
oh,
You guys know?
No, I thought it was just a cross.
is it a wolf?
No, that's the tower that Ezra
No.
would hang out on, the beaming tower. Where...
Yeah.
Oh, get out of here, guys. Go watch Rebels.
Good eye.
All right, next up,
I can't
Bounty
see that
Hunters.
little
Put
thing.
it on my screen.
Next up, next up is do the black background screen like I did. It's sweet. Next up is Bounty Hunters. Cool covers across the board. Of course, I know you guys hate the middle one, but I'm getting it anyways. And then once again, we have an awesome Sprouse cover. And guess what they're going to do with the Sprouse cover on the right with Thrawn and our man, the Grand Inquisitor.
Give us a virgin variant.
Yeah.
No, they're absolutely not. They're going to put a ton of fucking trade dress around that shit and put 50th all over it. Hey,
Damn.
Got to
I'm
brand
so
it.
no-
Close.
JJ, look what's in their way background behind Thrawn.
It's a moon.
Planet Gist.
No, the ship.
No,
No.
The ship.
That's
actually-
no
Star
moon.
Destroyer? His Star Destroyer.
It's his Star Destroyer, which is called the. This is why I'm asking you. It's called. I can't remember what it's called.
No.
offhand.
I can't
However, that's
Oh.
the one. That's the one that they
Like
fast
it,
forward to. Him and Ezra fast forward to, isn't it? Han? Yes.
remember. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
What I want to know
Yes.
is, so is there 2 Rebels covers? Because he's only done like a cover per show
Mhm.
so far in this thing. Is that supposed to be a Rebels cover? Along with the
It's
other
gotta
Rebels
be.
cover?
Those have got to be
Inquisitor
2
was
Rebels
on
covers.
Rebels.
Has he done 2? Like a
Yes,
light and a
because
dark
he
side
did-
cover?
Yes,
He has?
because
Okay.
he did Padme and
Well, with like
What's-
like
his
droids
name?
and all those, he put it like all on one cover. So.
yes, but he did Padme and the guy that raised
Oh.
her.
Yeah, that was
Padme?
Senators. The cover of that one was
Oh.
Senators. I was like,
Creeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Jimmy
Well,
Smith.
either way. And then we get him in High Republic for FOC. That was,
no,
by the way, yeah, High Republic for FOC. We get a Momoka of.
It's better than the first one.
Yeah, it's better than the first one where what's her name was pooping out stars.
Kiwi.
Now Ava's just.
I was going to ask, is this a connecting cover to the other one? Because
Must be.
Yeah, she's just sitting in the poop now.
Yeah, those are the stars that were pooped out.
Yeah, they're all been pooped out now. She's just sitting
I like
in it.
everybody the Jedi Order during this violent time of the High Republic apparently just has time to like lounge around stars and sit out in the
It'll
old
be
Snow
awesome.
angels in the. Yeah, she's
I really
just kind of
think-
making swirls.
I would think that if they actually left the Noto like it is, that would be super cool. But that's not going to be
Yeah.
the case.
I can
So that one's going to deal with.
Well,
They're
you have to
actually
have that barcode down at the bottom. And
Is that
They're
10? Is that 10? It's a book?
no
Or 11? That's 11, right?
11. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
in this one, it's going to have to deal with them still dealing with D a lot, and you're going to have a lot of. It's going to have the fallout from when what's her name? She's pretty much going to start her path down to being one of the Lost 20.
Oh,
They kind of already gave it away.
Did
Yeah,
we get
Kiwi.
Thrawn ship name?
So Kiwi and
Chimera.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a
Thank you.
Chimera. That's what it is. Yep. So that's going to start with that
Thanks,
FOC.
Dusty.
So who gave it to us? Somebody looked
Dusty.
it up for us.
Dusty,
Dusty,
Baker.
cool.
Dusty
Thank
Baker.
you, Dusty. That was right on the top of the tip of my tongue. And that's what we got. Next week is going to be very light because there's only one. Oh man, I shouldn't do that because I might lose everything.
It's only
There's
one
going to be
guy.
only one actual comic, I think, to review, maybe 2. So it should be light, but we'll have some other stuff to deal with. Okay, cool. Yeah, the Crimea. Thank you. Ship on the stick. Dwayne, what's going on, Dwayne Scott? All right. What do we have next, guys? What was the next one?
I don't remember what you wanted next, so that's why I was trying to get it ready. But
Is it Jedi?
Oh, Visions. We're gonna okay. If you guys remember last week, it was a grand hit, so we're gonna do it again. Jedi Johnson.
How was
This
that a hit?
time he's flying without a map. He's got to go. No notes.
No notes. People loved it.
No,
People
so
loved
we
it.
are definitely using notes
No.
because I tried it. So I actually when I watched it, I took notes because I know myself, but I went back after watching all of them, which I finished this morning because I dreaded it all week. I tried to go back and remember the first one without the notes, and I couldn't even remember what it was about. So
he's been mad all week about us doing this. By the way, I just want to let you know that he has been salty.
it has put me in a sour mood all week, knowing that I had to watch these.
All right,
well, it's over. You got through your vegetables. Now you can have dessert.
Yeah, now you can have your pudding.
Can we? Yeah, let's just get through this.
All right.
Okay.
Hold on.
Rename this Brussels sprouts for Jedi.
Review.
Here, you want me to show? I got it.
No, I got the one that's only got the 4 for him. I give the main one. All right, here we go.
This one, I swear to God.
All right, I don't have it.
So this one is T0B1. So I don't know. As I was watching this one, I'm assuming this is like a Pinocchio story, but at least that's what I got out of it. So you have this droid manufacturer who looks a lot like Santa Claus. He creates this boy droid. Not that I want to assign him an identity or anything, but he looked like a boy. And this is a very curious droid.
Boy.
And they teach him how the guy teaches the droid how to make these glass figures. So I guess, kind of like Pinocchio making the wood figures or whatever. So the boy droid wants to be a Jedi and fight the Empire because he's seen something on the news or something. I don't know. But he needs a kyber crystal, according to my notes. Can't really remember, to make a lightsaber. So he goes looking. I guess his dad, Santa Claus, says, "Go find your own kyber crystal. I don't have any," or something. So he goes looking, and he ends up looking in Santa Claus dude's secret room or something, and he finds a bunch of Jedi souvenirs that have been stowed away. Somehow I think he must have inadvertently signaled the Empire somehow, because now the Empire is heading their way. So something happened. He pushed a button or something, sent an email. Santa Claus is like trying to protect him, so he buries him in the wall so that the Empire can't find him. He comes out and like everything is destroyed by the Empire, right? So I guess he finds he starts like putting stuff back together, and he also hides. I don't know. I can't read my writing. I guess somehow or another he finds pieces to a. No, it wouldn't work at all with no notes. He finds pieces of the lightsaber that he hid or something, and he starts fixing up the place. And then it starts raining a lot, and a crystal appears, and the lightsaber, I guess, builds itself somehow, because I didn't see him do it. And there's a bunch of happy music because he's building the lightsaber, and he does acrobatics and jumps around and does a lot of cool,
it's a montage.
Acrobatic stuff. So the Empire arrives, and this Vader-like dude appears, and they fight, and he has a Santa Claus Force Ghost moment where he sees Santa as a Force Ghost, and then suddenly he can fight like Yoda. He's jumping around everywhere, and he fights continues. He loses an arm because it's Star Wars, and you can't be a good Jedi until you lose a limb. And now he's part of the club, and his droid, all his droid friends attack, and his droid's best friend suddenly becomes a jetpack and gives him some super speed, and he cuts the bad guy Vader dude in half, but he's okay, and leaves the planet in an old shuttle listening to music. That's it.
It sounds like you really enjoyed this episode.
I'm a good actor. I can I do this for the viewers. You know the truth.
All right, give it to him next.
Oh God, this one. Okay. So the Elder Jedi. This is the one you guys
Really?
like, right?
This one's
Yeah,
good.
this is the best.
Yeah,
One of the
I
best
like
ones.
this one.
God help us. Okay. Jedi and
Hold
a
on.
Padawan are traveling through space.
Wonder Comics. Are you talking about the Crimson Rain? Because if so, we
No,
kind
it's
of talked
Chocolate
about it,
Rain.
too. No. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Didn't
Oh,
mean to interrupt you. Let's go.
So a Jedi and a Padawan are traveling through space. They're just talking a lot. I mean, there was a lot of talking, which did me absolutely no good.
Fair enough.
And so they land somewhere and they start walking. They meet some locals, and then they climb some mountains and they found this bat plane or something like Batman landed there. This plane was all black and red, and then they find some dead beast looking thing, and then an old dude with 2 red lightsabers. It's a giveaway. He got 2 red lightsabers, and he fights with his eyes closed, or at least he did for a while. And he kills the Padawan, and then he fights the Jedi with Force lightning. But nope, guess what? The Padawan ain't dead. He throws his lightsaber to distract the old dude, and then the Jedi kills the old guy.
Mhm.
But the old guy destroys his own ship, so they ain't using that one to get away. And then the old guy crumbles into pebbles, and then there was a lot more talking in the end.
Okay, so I can see if you did. Yeah, okay, I can see why you didn't like this one as much because of your description. You should go back and watch this one. Actually, I think it's the
Never
one
going to happen.
you should actually go back and watch this one. All right, up next. Oh God, I can't wait till you hear about this one.
Is it Lope and Ocho?
Yeah,
Cinco.
I don't know who either one of them are, even after watching it. So it opens with more Empire repression, and then there's a rabbit creature, which was really, I thought of Jackson.
that one could be related to Jackson.
Could be.
I think she was. Again, assuming it was a she.
Actually, they say in the production thing, yeah, it's inspired by Jackson. I think in the first the inside look video they did.
So I'll put that together.
Good job.
Rabbit creature, slaves or something, and then there's some good people. They find and adopt the rabbit girl, and they remove her slave collar. And then, like 7 years later, the rabbit girl is all grown up, and the family is arguing, and they argued, and they were arguing a lot. And then the girls go on a road trip. They're just like cruising around over some bridge and stuff. And then the Empire had a roadblock. And then there was an admiral, somebody who looked like the Joker's cousin. And then the rabbit girls, adopted that admiral guy looked like the Joker. And then the rabbit girl's adopted sister joins the Empire. So he must have been hella persuasive in whatever he said. And then the rabbit girl survives by jumping off of the bridge, and she lands without a scratch. And then she goes to the adopted dad, and she tells on the sister. She snitched on her for joining the Empire. And then the dad gives the rabbit girl a lightsaber, but not before showing her a PowerPoint on how to be a Jedi. And then the dad leaves. And the Empire is destroying. Then the Empire is destroying this factory, so there's not going to be any more jobs, so they can't have that. And the people revolt. And then the rabbit goes to join the fight. Dad is already there fighting, so he didn't really leave. He just went to fight. He's fighting Bad Daughter, and then the rabbit's droids try to sway Bad Daughter with some family pictures, but no, that don't work. The family pictures of the good times. Bad Daughter smashes the droid, and that really pisses off Rabbit Girl. And then the fight is on, and Rabbit Girl beats Bad Daughter, but Bad Daughter escapes anyway.
Wait, so they got
Rabbit Girl beats Bad Daughter.
Rabbit Girl beats Bad Daughter.
Rabbit Girl beats Bad Daughter. Yes.
All right.
Brand new sentence.
You watched it, right? All right. She beats Bad
What
Daughter,
happened to
but
Samurai
Bad Daughter
P.I., the dad?
escapes. And then the droid, because Star Wars don't kill nobody, the droid still works enough to show some more family pictures as the credits roll. The end.
Okay.
How's
The
that
end.
His persuasive words were, "Come to the dark side. We have cookies." And she was like, I like cookies.
Okay, now it makes sense. Now.
Honestly,
Right? I just want to
Grandma
clear
Girl
that up.
Beast, bad daughter. Yeah, bad. Yeah. I actually like this one. I can't believe you. You need to actually watch this half. All right. Go ahead and ruin this one.
My favorite one, and I don't even need to say why. So this is
they didn't speak during half the real show.
Akakina. Well, it's because it was the last one. That's what I put.
Yeah.
Jedi Akakiri. Jedi ship lands on a planet where he is immediately attacked by some creatures riding what at first I thought were horses with no eyes. The Jedi is saved and taken care of by some good locals, and they're riding the birds. I guess they're like these big ostrich-looking bird
Final
things.
Fantasy.
And they do have eyes. I find out later. They all go on a long journey. I'm talking long journey. And then the Jedi has repeated visions, so he's seeing stuff. At the end of the journey, they sneak into a palace. The Jedi fight a red-eyed Sith who holds his new friends captive, the ones that took care of him. The visions return. The Jedi is talking. What the hell? Jedi's talking to some old dude or something, and then he comes back. Oh, in his vision, he was talking to some old guy that looked like President Biden a little bit. And then back from the vision, Jedi mistakenly kills his new friends because they were disguised as like the enemy or something. So the Jedi starts crying, and then the Jedi becomes a Sith, the Sith apprentice in return for the Sith bringing his girlfriend back to life. The end.
Yeah, I can see why you don't like any of these because those reviews were, yeah, all right.
Spot on, right?
No, absolutely not. I think the first one was right on, and then
first one was pretty right. Yeah,
first one was pretty right, and then that was it.
You try.
All right, Pete, could you give? Good job, by the way, Jedi. That was really good.
We will turn the reins over to Sam and J.J.
Yeah, there you go. Favorite thing, vote. He gave you a thumbs up for that one, Jedi. Winner, chicken dinner. All right, now let's turn the reins over to the other two guys who should have. I don't know. Go ahead. Tell us how it is.
Watched it with audio. We understood.
Yeah.
A little bit of better understanding for it.
All right. Go ahead, Sam. You want to kick it off?
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about ObiWan. I was hoping that they would at least. I mean, the name is obviously a reference to Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? That's what I was thinking. Obi-Wan.
When I first read it before, in the previews or whatever, I thought it said Toby.
Yeah.
But it's in one, not an I. So I was like, oh. Yeah. So, yeah, I think you're right.
And then at the end, he was just calling himself Toby. I was like, oh, I think they maybe missed an opportunity there.
Yeah.
To draw that parallel. But this is modeled after, we've said it many times, Astro Boy, which is like an anime version of Pinocchio. It's about a robot, an android that is built by an old kind of Mega Man professor, Dr. Light kind of character, or a Geppetto type character. Yeah.
With a coke problem. Look at that nose.
But it's all based on Pinocchio. You're spot on with that. It's just brought into the anime realm by making him an android rather than a marionette. And here they add the layer of it being a Jedi android. But otherwise, it's like beat for beat the first few episodes of Astro Boy. What do you think of that, JJ?
Yeah, I mean, I was never a big Astro Boy watcher, but yeah, I definitely see the art resemblance to it. To me, the concept is interesting in that, like, a droid having actual force powers would be an interesting concept, which we actually, ironically, will touch on a little bit with the Lego thing too later. But yeah. To me, it was an interesting concept. It took me forever, actually, the second watch before I realized that the droid maker guy, who's actually the Jedi, has no arms.
Really?
That's why he has all the droids helping him. I didn't realize that the first time I watched it through. He had no arms.
I didn't realize that either.
Yeah. He had the coat with the arm holes, but he didn't actually have arms.
Well, he had arms when he appeared as a vision later, I think.
Yeah, in the Force vision, he gets restored or whatever. But yeah, he had no arms before that. So
also, let me know how you want me to go through the slides as you go through it.
Just flip through the next one. Just flip through them. I'll try to keep up. But yeah, so he maps out, or at least his Toby, if you want to call him that, or TOB1. Yeah, Toby1. But his job, I guess, is to kind of map out the design for the droids, and it looks like he's building the Death Star in this one. That's like
all the
he's designing the Death Star for him. Yeah. Flip to the next one for me, Pete. And then, so he does have, I guess, dreams or force visions you see of him as a real boy. So that's definitely the Pinocchio aspect coming into play there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sam, you want to pick it up from here? Oh, he goes on a search here. This is him biking across.
Kyber crystal search.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He goes on his little spirit quest to try and find his way and become a real Jedi, a real boy, a real Jedi. And if I recall correctly, they have kind of a difference of opinion, and things go a little haywire. And then he ends up, when he gets back, that's when, or he sends out a signal to the Sith guy on his
when he finds
journey.
the ship in the basement, in the room he's not supposed to go in.
Yeah.
He climbs in
and
the
he
ship
sends out the signal, and then the Sith guy comes back, and he's ready to take everything apart. And ObiWan, he gets hidden away by his master. I feel like we're kind of covering the same ground that Jedi covered, but
Jedi had this one pretty good.
He gets hidden away, and it protects him for a moment, but he ends up getting his bearings and decides he's going to take over for his master, and it's really kind of great. So the Jedi laid it out pretty well. Like, Jedi did a good job of laying this one out, so I don't think we need to keep hammering it. But I did want to bring up the director here is Abel Gongora.
Pete.
He's a Spanish director. He does a lot of different type stuff, different animation stuff. He did Skunk Fu and some other kids animations. But his this is like his first big director thing that he directed himself. He's mostly just been an animator for other animes and cartoons. This is his first foray into the director's chair, and I think it was all right.
Did anybody like this? Because I'm with Jedi. I mean, chat, let us know. I thought this was trash. I thought it was bad.
You didn't like the bad guy from Micronauts fighting him?
I did think it was interesting. This was the only one, I think, at least if I remember right, in the English version where they called the Sith the Inquisitor. They call him an Inquisitor, which was kind of interesting that you didn't see any Inquisitors besides this, which I assume is a droid. You never really
I'll give it. I didn't even think that was done well. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like any of it. I mean, look, it's not my world. I mean, trash is probably a little bit too harsh of a word. I was not. Yeah.
I thought it was one of the weaker ones. But,
out of these four, out of this subset, I thought it was weak, and I thought out of all of them, it was kind of weak. So, I don't know.
Yeah, agreed.
Dave got it too, man. I mean, I get it. All right, next up. Oh wait. Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's it. We just
that's just him winning.
Taking down Baron. What the heck's his name? Can't remember the Micronauts bad guy. Baron.
like Baron.
Yeah, anyway,
Baron Von Inquisitor.
So Jedi was pretty right. That was a bad episode. Good job, Jedi. Next up.
Yep.
Hey, Half Price. What's going on, Bob?
So in The Elder, you had David Harbour, who is voicing the Jedi Master from Stranger Things, and at least in the English version. And I thought he had a much cooler vibe than his young apprentice Padawan, who was kind of a pain in the butt. He was a nerd. Yeah.
Hey, Master, how many planets have you gone to?
Yeah. Oh, you're the best.
Oh, you're the best, Master.
You set the record.
But, yeah.
You see that this is a usual trope, though, in a lot of these Star Wars Master Apprentice things. This actually felt like a Star Wars.
It really did. It felt like early Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, so. I don't know how you say the name. Is it Tanjin? They never actually say his name. I don't think the Master's name at all. I pulled that off. Yeah. So, but you got him, and they both arrive on this planet. And right when they get there, he says he feels a disturbance in the Force, a dark disturbance. He doesn't know what it is. So you get the impression that he's an older Jedi Master who's very powerful. And then let's go through. So they each kind of Tanjin talks with the villagers, and then Dan meets the kids in the village, and everybody's kind of like, oh, happy. I'll flip to the next one for me. And then, so they have this discussion over, they definitely feel a presence, but he doesn't feel it anymore. It's gone away. So he decides, well, maybe we should split up. And Dan, of course, the Padawan, suggests, oh, you're better with ships, so why don't you stay with the ship, and I'll go out on the dangerous mission and climb the mountains with these children. Which seems a little counterproductive to send you'd be switched, but yeah. So they do stumble across a Sith ship, and they mention it that it matches, what he's seen in hollows of other Sith ships. I'm gonna mispronounce that like 16 times.
Tongue twister.
Yeah. But I thought this was very Star Wars-esque.
And very High Republic centric too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, none of these are canon, but if it were to be in a canon timeline, this does take place before Phantom Menace, before Episode 1. So they actually mention early on in the show that they haven't seen a Sith for like 1,000 years. Oh, and Dan, the Padawan, even asks, which, by the way, Dan is an extremely generic name for Star Wars. Dan. But
they gave us what you guys have been complaining. They've been listening. They finally gave us what we can pronounce.
Yeah. We always get it for like main characters like Luke and Kyle and like just English names. But yeah.
Yeah, so he comes across this beast that has clearly been dispatched by a lightsaber, and before you know it, he's set upon by the bad guy, the Elder, who underneath those playful eyelids, he's got like black eyes, black and yellow eyes, and he draws his red lightsabers.
Is it this kind of like the demon trope that they use a lot in anime? Is this what this is based off of? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a kind of a mischievous demon who's about to.
Bit of a trickster.
He just uses his words to kind of goad him into fighting and making a move, and then leaves himself open to attack and gets
dispatched. His lightsabers were interesting too. He uses 2 short ones.
Yeah,
which is unusual.
Well, that's like a thief. A thief uses short katana because they're easily hidden, versus a samurai who's going to have a long sword and a short sword.
Yep.
So that puts him clearly in kind of the rogue category by having 2 short swords.
Yeah. Dan doesn't put up much of a fight. He blocks a couple times and then gets slashed across the stomach. And Tangent shows up shortly after that, which, by the way, when I first watched it, I was under the impression that he killed Dan because he's got his body like sitting there, like as he's sitting on top of him, but it turns out Dan's alive later on. Go ahead and flip through.
Yeah, that was weird too.
I thought this was great. The actual fight between him and the Master, I thought was great. And the fact that he uses the Force Lightning in a very Mace Windu-esque moment. And if you flip to the next one for me, which Mace Windu didn't think of this, which was to stop his lightsaber and then reignite it right into his chest.
Super cool.
Yeah. So that was a great ending to that duel, even though it was short. But...
Yeah.
Joe, me too. I was disappointed that Dan wasn't dead either. You ain't lying.
Yeah.
He was kind of a dork. But this Tangent character was really, really cool. I mean, his personality is very stoic. Seemed like he'd seen a lot of battle. He's got the scars on his face and just like a really cool vibe. The kind of wandering samurai vibe. Experience with the blade. That move that you just talked about, where he killed the old guy with it, but. Something only an experienced and level-headed guy would do. Very reminiscent of like the old Akira Kurosawa films with the Ronin and the Man with No Name that eventually became the Clint Eastwood movies. But very cool. And then the director of this one did have a lot of experience directing different stories, and it shows. I mean, I feel like the ones that have done really well have directors with a lot of experience, and he did a lot of really familiar projects like Neon Genesis, Evangelion, Fooly Cooly, Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill, and B&A. So those are all things that people have seen
No clue what you're talking about, bro.
They're different. They're different anime titles.
The first half of them.
Different directors, but interesting enough, this one is the same studio as the Twins, which we reviewed last time, which was that crazy, visually great but not story great.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you look, I think if you look at chat, and they were saying it last week too, and I think if you ask everybody here, Jedi, I think this is if you're gonna, I think you actually should watch this one again. This one is the most Star Wars feeling thing they did here, and by far, probably some of the coolest shit that they did.
They blended traditional Japanese and traditional anime as tropes and Star Wars into one thing pretty well. So.
I don't know what the ranking is on this one there, Sam, but I would assume it's 10 rotten apples out of 10 rotten. I don't know how rotten apples.
Well,
I think it's an 8.1.
Tune in to our holiday special, and I will tell you what I thought about it.
Oh, cool.
Because
that's how long it's going to take.
That's how long it's going to take.
1 minute a week.
You know what this reminded me of was when Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan first get to Tatooine and they sense Darth Maul. Right? It's very reminiscent of that encounter. But of course it's a lot more brief than their encounter with Darth Maul.
No, y'all are hating on my man Obi a little too much. Dan was really a turd sack.
Yeah.
But
that's true. Yeah.
I do.
Right.
The fight scene. I know you said it was
but I think
brief.
we're taking it a little too far.
Yeah, I think when you said the fighting scene was brief, I think one of my arguments earlier with probably one of the comics and last week was one of the fight scenes was a little bit too long. I thought this was the perfect. Like there wasn't wasted action in this. Like it was really cool to see that fight scene, and it gave you kind of that thought process because you brought up Maul. Remember the Obi-Wan Maul scene, and it wasn't as good. Don't get me wrong, because they hooked us for years on the Maul thing. But just the fight scene, if you break it down in Rebels, the Maul fight scene with it, like how it was short and it was sweet to the point and made sense. This fight scene did the exact same thing.
Yeah, and if you think about it, they're all not going to be like, long drawn out Anakin versus Obi-Wan 20-minute fights.
Crying.
Well, also, that's more the point of like a samurai. Like,
it would be a quick fight. Yeah,
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be alive or dead. They're not going to sit there in front of each other, twirling their lightsabers, just like doing like baton tricks in front of each other.
Kind of like the second,
whatsoever.
Like the second Obi-Wan Maul showdown, where it's like two moves.
Yeah.
But if Dan were dead, then the Master would have lost the fight, probably, or no? Because he wouldn't have been able to show him the lightsaber.
Yeah. Dan did distract him by tossing his lightsaber at him. So,
that's true.
Yeah. I guess he did have one saving grace there.
Yeah.
Good job. Way to go, Dan.
The Master's hair, the way they drew it and the way it's always over his face half the time, it drove me nuts. Other than that, I really enjoyed this episode, but man, his hair I couldn't get over it. I was like, dude, you gotta cut it.
I kind of dug it. I was
get a hair
jealous.
tie.
Yeah.
You got a scrunchie? Do something, man. Like, take care of yourself.
Dan, David, I'm sorry. Did you not like this one? I thought you would have liked this one. I mean, you're.
Well, he's saying they're short. I agree. Like some
I
David,
don't
I
think it's
just
too
thought
short though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would like this one to be a whole series, but I'd like this version to be a whole series. But yeah, I wish Master Sith would have taken Dan. I would like this one. If this was like a whole, if they did like a 5-part on this, like a mini, I would have liked that. I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I can understand. I'll follow these guys and wait till the dark side or somebody kills Dan. That'd be fun. It's like Kenny.
We're Dan. We'll go to the next one then. You guys want to for Dan?
Lope and Ocho.
Mm-hmm.
So Lope is the
Lop, like a rabbit.
I think they say Lope in the English thing, but I was thinking Lop the whole time. But yeah.
Okay, before you begin, is Ocho the bad daughter or the droid?
Yeah.
Bad daughter.
It's the daughter.
Bad daughter.
Yeah.
Rabbit daughter going to get you, bad daughter.
Did they intentionally make this the 8th episode?
Why do you say that?
Because she's Ocho.
Ocho's.
Oh,
possibly.
I don't know it's Spanish, but still, like, can't get Ocho Cinco out of my head.
Yeah, no.
Chad Johnson.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't Chad Johnson play for the Jets?
And the Patriots for like half a season.
Didn't matter.
I'm just saying that because the Jets won, and that's Pat.
Woo!
That's Steve.
He probably did.
They tried to lose, but they didn't.
Did he try to play soccer, didn't he, or something? Or no, that was Terrell Owens. I don't know. Anyways,
Jesus.
on with the show.
Moving on.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah.
this one kind of captured a lot of the anti-colonial or so there's a period in Japanese history right before like right at the end of the 19th century, where they were kind of opening to the West, and there was a lot of anti-Western sentiment, or just like, we're moving too fast, we're letting the Westerners in too fast, and this kind of captured that same vibe where the Empire plays the West, right? They're coming in and they're colonizing this little planet. They're steeped in tradition and honor, and
like the Last Samurai, right?
Yeah, a lot like that. A lot like Last Samurai.
I was a little confused here. I thought at first, before they started to say it later in the episode, that like the rabbit people were the slaves, like the original, like the natives of the planet, but they're actually slaves they brought in from another planet, like the Empire used to do with the Wookiees, which was interesting. But so never told you what planet they were from, just that she was from another planet.
We don't talk about enslaving Wookiees on this show.
Fair enough.
That one trooper looks like he's on his cell phone, like he's taking a call. Just
he does.
He's like, as soon as I get done whipping these guys,
I got all these rabbits in here. All right.
But yeah, the honorable master here and his daughter end up rescuing Lope, or however you want to say it, and they bring her home, and she doesn't become a pet; she becomes a sister, adopted sister, and with all the rights and privileges.
Right there.
And it was because of the daughter, right? Like the daughter at this time was like, we have to save her.
Yeah.
And kind of gives her dad crap, like, you're not an honorable dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dad feels sorry for her, but then the daughter's kind of like, yeah, we need to take her in. And then they become all, if you flip to the next one, but they become all.
But it
like
was based
friends.
on helping somebody in need of help because you're not honorable if you don't. Okay.
Yeah, right. And I don't know, Sam, you probably got more of a background in this than me. Like, what would you say, like, he is? He's kind of like they call him, is it Boss Yamamoto? But he's not like a mob boss. He's like I guess, kind of the leader of the.
He would have been a warlord.
Is he a warlord, I guess?
He would have been a warlord.
Yeah, so they in feudal Japan, it was you had the shogun, who was kind of like the general of the whole land, and he was in charge of the military, and then he had lords who each had their own little towns that they were running, and he would have been one of those kind of underling lords. A warlord is a good title for it. He's obviously seen some battle, but he's in charge of this little town, and he's trying to protect it, but also keep the tradition going, because a lot of times the sentiment back then was that if you lost a tradition, there was no point in keeping the town. If you sacrificed tradition and identity for just survival, it wasn't a good trade. And then as the daughter gets older. Go ahead.
Historically, that was also like that time, like the whole like quote unquote Last Samurai time, right? Like that's when they start cutting the top knots and moving to mechanical guns and everything. It was kind of like the same theory there. Like you're going to lose the spirit of the island of Japan if you get away from it. But go ahead. Sorry, my bad. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same feeling or sentiment they're tapping into. And that's why I think this one works as well as it does, because otherwise it could be really corny. I think it could have been a lot more corny than it was. But because they were kind of tapping into kind of a more serious historical time, they were able to pull it off with a little bit more sincerity than it could have. It could have fallen really flat, I think, but it was decent as the way they did it. But yeah, the girl ends up saying, "Look, I'm just being a pragmatist. We got to do what we can to survive. And if we team up with these guys, not only will we survive, but we'll thrive. We'll do well under the Empire." And the dad's like, "But they're taking our identity away. It's not worth it." And that was the primary conflict between the dad and the daughter, was who are they going to trust and what cost.
And this was kind of the basis of. At one point, Japan was like one isolated nation. It was one nation, so like they wouldn't let outsiders come in and they were actually a pretty big powerhouse when you thought about it. However, if you know historically, when they started letting traders come in, I mean, it was I don't know. I really like this one. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I really like this.
Right here, I like to think of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
To
me, this one was very like we talked about the last one being very Star Wars like. This one was very kind of the opposite in a way for me, and that it was very like anime like in like the traditional like anime that I've seen and know, but also it was very un-Star Wars like elements of Star Wars in there, Like, by the way, Joker, which, by the way, I think he's a director, not an admiral, but director Joker. But yeah, so I think there was more anime than Star Wars sprinkled in this one, but I still thought it was good. Like, I didn't dislike it; it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was decent, and ultimately the whole entrusting the lightsaber to the rabbit girl. Mm-hmm. It was David Samuelson is saying he thought it was very corny, but I don't think it went too far into the corny zone. I thought it stayed pretty well, and when she gets the lightsaber, she's like, okay, now what do I do with this? And then there's the she downloads the Matrix, right? And she gets all the fighting skills. And and then battle ensues. And I liked the design of the lightsaber. It was very much like a family katana that gets passed down, and it's got you can see it's got the family kanji right there inscribed in it.
Yeah, going down through the light. That is kind of cool.
Yep,
that was really, really cool effect. It seems, and you're right, it doesn't seem very Star Wars like. It does seem very anime like. The story is.
I would disagree with that, especially when you start looking at what Lucas did by himself in the prequels. This was very prequel-esque, where he starts giving you, and he didn't do it well, but if you go back and look at those prequels, like there's a lot of times where he used historical parts, especially
to a fault, though.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they did it in this, though. I think they lightened it up at this part, and they didn't do it to a fault. I mean, I thought this was going to be, I'll be honest with you, I thought this was going to be a heap of shit. And I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea this episode, but like for somebody who does like history a lot, like I thoroughly was surprised by this episode. Maybe that's why I'm defending it so much. I really enjoyed it.
You don't have to defend it just because people say that it's more anime than Star Wars. I don't think that necessarily has to be a negative.
Well, I don't think it's but I don't think it's 100% that. I know people like. I mean, I respect David, but like saying it's kind of corny. But then he does say something later that makes a lot of sense. I just think, and that's it. I think this might, like we always say, Star Wars isn't for everybody. But this one was actually directed towards, I think, people like me and Sam, or I mean, I think that's kind of how it works.
And I agree with what Joe's Doolin said in the chat there too, right just now. How this one I think had one of the best stories that flowed. Maybe this and Ninth Jedi, where it was like, a very linear, like, not a lot of break in action or anything like that. Yeah. So some of those.
And I guess what I mean when I say it's not very Star Wars like is that they were taking a lot of liberties with the Star Wars elements.
Yeah.
The look of the director and the design of the lightsaber. They're taking liberties and kind of stretching them into more. But this is
non-canon, so this is kind of how that goes. That's where you get your
and then that's all I'm saying is that they're taking liberties and fitting kind of a Star Wars skin around a traditional Japanese storyline.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, in this picture here, it's been a long time because I didn't watch the new Netflix series, but does she ends up grabbing the boss's sword there, which is kind of that Sai looking one. Is that not She-Ra's sword? Like, doesn't that look like the sword that She-Ra wielded? Or am I crazy?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I get that, David. So David brings up a good point. Like, what would it be with 5 more minutes on some of these shows? I don't know. Like, I enjoyed them. There's a couple of them where I wish they were like 3 minutes short.
Half-hour cartoon.
Yeah.
What's that? Actually only like 20 minutes.
And I think it would depend on the 5 minutes too. Like it could make it worse, or it could make
quality.
It, like
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Well, there we go.
Yeah, they're gonna add a B story in with that extra 5 minutes. Subplot that's unnecessary. I don't know.
Let's see what's next. I did want to say.
Shoot up the slide on that one. Sorry.
Akira?
Yuki Igarashi was the director of this one, and he had only done of the La Pinocchio. He'd only directed this particular episode and then another episode of another anime. But he had a lot of animation experience from one of my favorite animes called Mob Psycho 100, which is a phenomenal anime if you guys want a recommendation.
Mob Psycho? Okay.
Mob Psycho, like Psycho.
Psycho
100. Yeah.
They ever going to do a season 2?
They do have 2 seasons, and then they have a short Reagan-centric season.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched this stuff, but I used to love anime back in the day. I used to watch tons of it, but it's been a while.
Yep.
Getting that itch now.
I've never. This is like my first experience with anime. So
you didn't watch Ninja Scroll and that kind of stuff back in the day?
No, man. Not
Really?
Ghost in the Shell, none of that. Didn't. People talking about it, you're like, well, I want to see it to know what they're talking about.
Back in the day, you had to have gotten VHS tapes, like bootleg, to get
No, I'm good, bro. No.
All right. Akakiri. So Aka means red and Kiri means cut. So I think this is reference to the lightsaber, the red lightsaber.
Yeah, and it's the birds from Final Fantasy.
They are. Chocobos. Indeed. I didn't really put that together till you said it, but yeah.
Me either.
And they have a very weird, it's like a sand person scream, but like higher pitched.
I thought it was the bird creature from Heavy Metal or something. Wasn't there like
Heavy Metal works too. It does.
Yeah, it works too.
Heavy Metal.
Chocobo husbandry is an important part of any Jedi's life.
And Final Fantasy too, as a matter of fact. So
unfortunately, I didn't put it on the first slide, and I've totally forgotten the Jedi's name. I don't know if anybody remembers it.
Tsubaki?
It is Tsubaki, yes. Thank you, Sam. But yeah. So he suffers from force vision nightmares, I guess you could call them force nightmares.
Or migraines.
Anyway, but yeah. I like migraines. But he ends up being saved from the Chocobo people by these 3 random people on the hilltop here, which we get introduced later. But so that's kind of, and again, not gonna remember names because I actually watched this like 2 weeks ago and I don't remember it. But
Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, Laurel. Yeah. And it's so the gal on the right is actually the ex-princess of the planet that he's on. She's kind of been disposed by a Sith. And that's why the Jedi shows up again. He's there before. But we'll get to that later. And then you got kind of these 2 guys are supposed to be the guides on the right, which one of them, by the way, is voiced by George Takei.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sulu. Interesting. They reminded me of the hot dog and hamburger guy that are trying to eat Bugs Bunny. Like when they're both trying to eat Bugs Bunny and then they look at each other and one guy sees the tall guy as a hot dog and the short guy as a hamburger. That's who they remind me of.
There is a lot of Looney Tunes characters that they, absolutely.
So,
Jedi was right about one thing. They go on a very long journey back to her palace.
I liked how they were singing. They got yelled at, dude. That was funny.
Through like half the episode, they go on this like Lord of the Rings type journey here to get to from point A to B. But
I do have to admit, I did doze off during the journey.
Yeah,
the journey home.
This was one of those episodes that like normally I'd say I wish it were longer because it was a short one, but I really kind of don't.
But you know, real quickly, like a lot of times in actual Japanese films, there's always the dope that ends up singing while they're on the long, like off key in the long travel. Like it happened. It happened in Usambi. It happened in the Seven Samurais. Happened in a lot of those. So like I thought that was hilarious. I was actually laughing my ass off.
I thought they were humming the theme from MASH at first.
But that is what it was, right, Sam? That was like a throwback to the Japanese movies, correct?
Oh yeah, that is a common trope.
Yeah.
Well, not MASH. It wasn't the theme to MASH.
No, not MASH. No, was not MASH.
No. It was
but
just
close.
The sun.
I'm with you, Jedi. I'm going MASH.
So they have to find a way into the back of the palace, so they take this dangerous path. And again, I don't remember their names, but the larger gentleman gets lost along the way. The princess who's paying them a whole bunch of money, mind you, says we have to turn back for them, even though she could just save her money and not pay them. So Akakiri or Tsubaki decides to be like, I'm the guy that's going to go back and save him because nothing is predestined. Like, we're not saying he's dead. I'll go get him. And he does find him, and they come back and they reunite in the town right outside the palace. And then flip the next one for me. So we get a quick flashback of Tsubaki and the princess, like before the family was disposed. So that's young Tsubaki, I guess, before he.
It's not young Keanu Reeves.
Or does he decide to get a sombrero and go all gruff? But yeah.
So, it looks like Ted Theodore Logan to me.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Not moving. Oh, there we go.
So they happen upon now my understanding was I watched dubbed and I watched subbed eventually at one point. This was the sister of the princess?
It was the aunt. She's the aunt. Okay. She's a sister of the king.
Oh, okay. At first I was like, they don't look
alike.
That was
not a dude?
No, it was not a dude.
It's a woman.
Yeah, not a dude.
Yeah, I got this one way wrong.
Not a dude. But yeah, she ends up being the Sith that deposed the royal family in that family. And of course, Tsubaki clashes with her, as all Jedi and Sith do. And So
there he all of a sudden has a Vampire Hunter D hat instead of the
the sombrero-ish looking hat.
Kung Lao.
But so this was interesting in that they dressed his allies up as, I guess, the bad guys, which the Chocobo riding fellows, which I guess they're supposed to be like Sith acolytes in a way. I don't know.
Yes,
Crimson Guard, the mask maybe. But anyways, so they dressed the princess up in that, and he ends up Tsubaki ends up killing her with a lightsaber strike, thinking that she was obviously one of the enemy, and that's where we get our Anakin Padme type bargain for her life, where the Sith is like, I can bring her back to life, which she doesn't seem like that powerful of a Sith Lord, so apparently she has mastered resurrection, which is kind of weird because that apparently took Sith a lot of time to do.
It also made it look like she had him do it. Like it looked like his hands that were there, and then he did it.
But yeah, she does come back to life, and then Tsubaki's like, well, now I must go be the apprentice to the Sith Lord.
So wait, I got this one right then. I think you guys said I was way off on this one.
Well, elements you were way off, but yeah, in the end you had it right. Yeah, it was an anime or Anakin Padme bargain for her life.
Yeah,
to become a
devil's
Sith.
bargain.
Yeah,
even gave her the Padme hair with the little knots in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Trigon? No, it was not Trigon.
Yeah, it was. It had the darkest ending, I thought, out of all of them.
Yeah. And it kind of abruptly ends. Like, just like, no, take off.
He's like, I'm out. Let's get on the ship.
Yeah. Which seems like a weird bargain to make because, like, at first I thought, it was going to be like a Darth Sidious deception type thing where they're like, oh, we'll bring her back, at some point, even though they never do. But she does bring her back, like, immediate to life. And then it's just like, oh, I'm going to leave and become a Sith. Like, right away.
You know what? I'm getting what Dave's saying here. He's saying all these had to be under 15 minutes. 15 minutes or under.
Yeah.
It's kind of right.
They did have a, yeah. Well, they didn't all have to be exactly 15 minutes, but.
No, but they had to be like around that time period. Yeah, he's got.
They're shorts. I mean, they're not even episodes. They're technically shorts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Something we're not used to. I don't know.
Yeah.
And this
has
kind of
a way to end it though.
They should have made a couple of them pants, and it would have been better.
No, boy, that's not a good idea.
I mean, you get rid of the commercials in your average sitcom, it's probably about 15 minutes. So.
I think we're a little early on the dad jokes, aren't we?
Never.
We're waiting for a certain troll for that one.
The animation style was kind of reminiscent of Studio Ghibli. Do you think so? The way they had designed the hamburger and hot dog guy, and then also the princess, it was very much like a Studio Ghibli.
The animation of her face seemed weird to me. Like, I mean, I know I've seen it before, but that type of art, I was just like,
I will say that I mean, I get what David's saying, but what I think a fix that they could have done just to make this better, because I thought it was good overall, but I think a fix they could have made it was like they had to have known this back half was a powerhouse, right? Like, who doesn't watch this back half? And besides Astro Boy Wizard or whatever, and you can not like the Loop stuff and Ocho stuff. Like, I get it, but it's still if you take it as a whole, that's still in the top tier, top half of shows. Well, it sure did seem like they back end loaded this. And even for like, remember, we're doing it in two parts, but this was like a drop. I think that's where they failed. Like, they did this as one drop. You should have peppered it with some of these more Star Wars centric, like, feel shows.
Yeah.
But then people might not have come back if you hit one that they didn't like, or hit two back to back. Then you might be, all right, I'm out.
Well, yeah, the first couple.
No way Jedi
if you remember the first 5, there's like a couple there that sucked. I mean, flat out sucked. There was nothing to fix those. So, I mean, my opinion. Anyway.
And to me, this was a weird one to end on just because it was so dark.
Yeah,
like his last one. Like,
at least it was.
I mean, they kind of peppered the strong episodes throughout. If you split them up into 3 groups, each group would start with a strong episode, and then they'd put the weaker episode in the middle, and then try and end on a high note. But
so you're saying this one was okay? So you're saying this was the one where you have the Sith guy with the daggers, then you get Loop, which is the middle episode, which could have fallen short, and then this. Yeah, okay, I could see that too.
But if you do that, that means Astro
Boy was supposed to be a good one.
Well, I mean, they're just kind of spread out, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So the first episode was the highest rated. Second highest rated. The 9th Jedi was the highest rated, and then the Elder was the 3rd highest rated. And and then the lowest so far was the rock group, and then after that was
I like the rock group. That was
T ObiWan. I'm not saying it's not good, and I'm not saying you're wrong for liking it. I'm just saying this is where this is the ratings. It's just the number.
Yeah, but had they flip flopped it like this again with a dark ending, this would have made better. number 6, like an Empire ending. You get that kind of darker, sadder.
So one of the
and then the hope you could have ended with Obi-Wan.
And I think the art style played into that a little bit. Like I think the art style of Tatooine and Rhapsody and the art style of T.O. really threw some people.
One of the things I actually found refreshing about what I could understand and follow, because it kind of goes against Western norms, is the fact that, and I don't know if they did it because that's a trait of anime or if they did it because there's going to be a sequel, but I actually found it a little refreshing that several of these kind of had that open ending, non-ending, if you will, to where you just don't know. You know, you're kind of left to your own imagination to figure it out. Or, so I don't know, I guess the question to Sam is that a trait of anime, or is that they're setting up for a part 2 next season, you think?
Well, I would say it's not just a trait of anime. I mean, I will say that the Japanese have a 4-act structure that they came up with that is different from traditional 3 or 5-act structures that we use here. And the 4-act structure is kind of a setup, then a development, and then they call it the twist, where a new element is brought in that you haven't seen before. And then the resolution is how the new element and the first element kind of combined together in this resolution. And that was kind of hinted at here, but it didn't resolve in the way that you would expect it to do.
I'd say it's more along the lines of anthology. Like that's what an anthology normally is like these non-interconnected episodes that are usually very short and open-ended.
I'm sorry. I was just talking about this particular episode.
I'll leave it on this. It's kind of something Dave said earlier because he compared it. So we'll say what David said earlier and kind of to compare the two. One of the things is, like, if you compare this to what's going on with What If, like, I like that they open-ended it. Like, I wish they would have done this with What If, even if they're going to do what they're doing right now with it, where they're finishing up the storylines. I wish they would have left it like a complete story with a concept of there could be a future instead of just doing a to be continued. Did JJ just leave before we were about to get into the GameStop comic exclusives?
His phone was
awesome.
His phone. I think
they're calling him on the phone. All right. Well, cool. So, or were we doing marketing failures? We were doing one of the two. But I thought this was good. I think Jedi should go back and watch some of it. It wasn't. There's been worse things we've seen on Disney Plus and on Star Wars. So, that's pretty cool. Oh, he's back.
I have to finish watching Sounds of the Galaxy first. And then
okay.
Watching or listening?
We'll cover that next week. All right. All right. So up next, what are we doing up next? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
The Wilhelm scream.
Are we doing marketing fails up next, or are we doing GameStop covers?
Let me look what we had here. I think it was marketing fails.
Well,
that is what we had up next. Yep.
Okay, marketing fails it is. Who's got that? Is that me or you?
I don't have that. I don't think.
I've got it. So here we go. Okay. Marketing fails. All right. So Star Wars is a lot of stuff. We're going to start doing this now for the next couple of weeks. We think it's going to be like marketing fails, cool toys, fail toys, cool marketing. Just like give a little bit of history of some of the stuff they've done in Star Wars before. I mean, like, because, if you look at it, the internet is full of marketing fails. People come up with weird things like extra IG accounts or something, and it doesn't always work out. So here we go. The fail is strong in these ones. Star Wars social media marketing. And here we go. Like I said, social media and the internet's really made a difference in this one. Here we go. Go ahead, JJ. What do we got? I love that.
The Hello Kitty Darth Vader.
Hello Kitty Darth Vader.
But yeah, so go ahead and hit the next slide for me.
All right, you got it. We wanted this, but somehow
well, you don't want to explain what that middle slide is to Marco?
Yeah, Marco will probably take me off the show if I explain.
That's the Star Trek logo.
For what? Where?
The A in Star Wars is the Star Trek logo.
He just doesn't even see it. It's beyond his field of vision.
I don't know what. Okay, somebody will explain it to me one day.
The first subject is the perils of too much branding and marketing and how people can be super annoyed by it. So
I specialize in what I know.
yeah.
All right. I have a very bad feeling about this.
Oh boy.
Oh God, yeah.
Gotta love the
I
chat.
remember this. Oh Jesus. All right.
So just kind of captured quick the first social media feeling there of what all these different brandings can do. Like, did you pick up your Star Wars grapes today at the grocery store?
I like how people were trying to go like, and this is the best part. They're like, you know what? That cream is gonna be collectible. Like a lot of that stuff rotted too. Like, what are you talking about?
I got a story about that. You remember the Pepsi cans?
Yes.
Remember the Pepsi cans, Phantom Menace? I got them all, but I didn't empty them. So I had them up on the shelf. They eventually deteriorated, and soda started spraying all over.
No, they exploded everywhere.
They didn't explode.
What's the Darth Vader thing?
So I didn't know.
That's a shower head.
Oh, that's a shower.
Like,
That's
in case you ever want
amazing.
Darth Vader staring at you in the shower while he spits water on you.
I don't know.
That's what that is.
The C3PO is a little bit.
Yeah, the tape dispenser.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was a
There's
brilliant
a toy
design
we're gonna
there.
get into next week that is a little provocative too.
Oh, I thought that was a
It looks
toilet
like
paper dispenser. It's
Nope.
tape.
Either
Oh.
way,
tape.
I mean,
It looks
Hey,
like
if you ever
the
wanted-
hedonism.
Yeah.
Looks like the hedonism bot from Futurama.
It does. It really does.
What's the Star Wars water? What they were just
That's
water
Evian.
bottles?
So Evian, if
Oh,
Evian wasn't expensive enough, you could buy your limited edition Star Wars Evian bottles that way, which were probably like 3 times the cost of regular Evian. So I don't know, like $8 a bottle probably.
David's not talking about us. Just to let you know, we just talk about Star Wars here. We don't do spec. All right, wink, wink. All right, go ahead. What's next? Oh wait, I'm next.
wink,
Okay.
more. That's
Yep.
nudge.
And I should
Oh
preface
my
this by
God.
saying not all these products are necessarily American.
What is that? What is the hot dog? The Star Wars? What is that?
Yeah, you
The
want to know
burger?
what that is? So that's a Jar Jar Binks lollipop.
No, that's gross as shit.
No. I think
No,
he's
Yeah,
looking
the
at
On the
lollipop
other
is his
end.
tongue.
I don't speak. What is that? Is
jelly-filled
that
hot dog.
Oh, that's
oh,
like
that's
a
Greek. That's a
Yep.
fish hot dog. Oh,
Yep.
nice.
Star
That's a
Wars
fish
hot
sausage.
dog.
Nice.
I like the squid ink burger.
Yes.
Yep.
No, that's a
Yes.
fish. It's a fish sausage that they somehow put blood in. What type of?
Ketchup?
I assume it's supposed to be ketchup or something. I don't know. I'm not real up on my foreign foods, but
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so
there we go.
there's a
I don't
lot
think
of Star
Tom
Wars.
put 'em into a
Actually,
No. Yeah, the burger did so bad because they couldn't
Yep.
tell if it was rotting or not. I remember when that came out, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And like Pete said, I believe the black is squid ink.
Yeah.
At least that's what I read on the interweb.
Mhm.
To
That's
me,
what it's supposed
the
to be.
worst is the worst is that Jar Jar Binks lollipop because the actual lollipop thing is the tongue. So
Yeah.
apparently your
Hopefully
kids
making
can
out with
suck
Jar
on
Jar.
Jar Jar Binks' tongue.
Making out with Jar Jar.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
What's that
Making out
last?
with Jar Jar.
The Han Pop Tart's still probably the best, though.
Yeah.
I got to agree with Joe.
And we got some wonderfully branded marshmallows there, R2D2 marshmallows. Yeah. So Europe, when I was doing the research for this, Europe actually got the Star Wars productization, I guess, or over productization worse than we did. It seems like because a lot of these horrible
Yeah, I
products
mean,
that they
Are those
conceived
apples or
were
red
were-
potatoes that Vader's
Yeah.
hawking there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I know that. Did they actually come out with that squid burger? Because I know that it was like
I
as
think
soon as
they
they
did.
promoted it, they were
I think
like,
it was a
"This
real
isn't
thing.
going to work." Like
Yep.
nobody
No,
finds
they did.
advertising. That was a failure. All right, what's up next?
Yep.
Soft tissue. Okay.
Slow reveal.
So you're yeah. Sorry about the transitions; they're a little slower than I thought. But so to me, this was the greatest one. Of course, you got your paper products, so you got to get all the tissues,
Mhm.
toilet paper, and
Oh yeah.
everything else branded Star Wars. But I
Baseball
guess on
bats,
Virgin,
not Star Wars.
up there in the upper right on Virgin Galactic, they had these limited edition Star Wars Episode 3 air sickness bags. You could
On
take
Virgin, the
you
plane.
can collect those.
Oh my god, on the plane. Yeah, the plane.
Yeah,
yeah.
on the plane, the
cool.
air sickness bag. Yeah, so make sure to take your
Yeah,
air
keep
sickness
this.
bag with you when you leave
Flight used.
as a souvenir.
Boba yoga, huh?
Yep. Yeah, yoga poster. That's an
What's the
actual Star
ring
Wars-
thing? That's not
That's
an
a Star-
anniversary ring. No,
It's a-
or an
well, it's just an
engagement
R2D2 ring that they. Yeah.
ring. for to like give to somebody to
Yeah,
look,
like as a gift.
No
Yeah,
shot.
that's real. diamond
Mrs.
real
Marco's
sapphire,
very
it's real-
tolerable,
it was
but if
real
I did that-
expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
very
no,
expensive ring.
She doesn't care. That's a no shot.
Plus, you get your Chewbacca Crocs.
Yeah.
There.
Mm.
All right.
Those
So-
kind of look comfy though.
What is the
Nice. Get a
thing?
little
What,
sweaty and
what
They
is
look
it
like they
right next-
smell. Though that looks like somebody who goes, "Oh, those look comfortable."
Well,
You
because
know
it's
they
going to be a
smell.
sweat trap. It
Because
looks
yeah, it's
like
like
it'd
a
be
foot
inviting
sweat in
people.
there, and they're gonna wear them all over the place. That looks like a bunch of stink coming to LCS.
What is right
community.
next to that ring? Is that
That's the
another
yoga
picture?
poster.
No, that's
No,
actual
the
ring.
other side. Is that
That's
the
Oh,
the
it's
actual
just
ring?
a
That's
it's
the
just a
Crocs.
zoom in of the ring.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Zoom in on the ring. Sorry, so you can see it. I was afraid you wouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I don't stink, and I would like to try the Wookiee Crocs. I won't lie. They look comfortable.
They're called Chewcrocas.
Yeah, that's why. So and he's like, yeah, these are. Solo's the dude that walks up to you in the middle while you're digging through the thing, and you smell him coming, and you're like, God damn it! And he's like, hey, dude, you should get yourself one of these Crocs. And you're like, so, and you feel bad because you're like, dude, you know those things stink, right? But you know these are comfortable. So
look, he just wants a shoe that has a beard as magnificent as his.
Yeah, right.
Not only
those
that,
things
but,
look like they smell, dude. That's gross.
Well, if they stink, I'll put a little patchouli on.
No, yeah, no, you know how that works out.
Cover up that smell.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? This is legit.
Yep.
Wow.
So we moved on to print ads. So these are a couple print ads I did because everybody. Now I went a little. I tried to avoid going too harsh on the makeup ones, but these were the two worst ones that I could find.
No, by far.
So yeah, everybody wants to look like Chewbacca's luxurious locks there on the L'Oreal Paris. Yeah. But then, and I don't get the cover girl ad. Like, first off, I've never seen anybody dressed like an Imperial version of the Hunger Games on their Star Wars cosplay or anything. So I don't even know what that's marketing towards. It was special edition Force Awakens makeup, which I guess you're supposed to make yourself look like a First Order trooper. I don't know.
Yes.
I guess
so.
L'Oreal Paris. It's time out. L'Oreal Paris is like
that
hair
black
product.
line. I guess
it's like a shampoo or something. Is it? Is that what that is?
I think it's makeup and shampoos, like all that type of stuff. Okay. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, who wants to do their makeup like Chewbacca?
Maybe it's made.
No, that's for the hair.
Look. I've seen some people. I've lived in Mexico for a little while, and I've seen some people.
Okay. Really? All right, fair enough. Whatever. Become a Jedi Master with every swing.
Yeah. So that's the Jedi Arena game, which I thought like, okay, so you have a title of Jedi Arena, right? Yeah. This is like the worst print ad ever. Like, hey, let's like picture like a bad photo of Luke squatting over a television set. I guess I don't know.
It's like a pool table.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Rather than in a Jedi Arena game, rather than having two guys fight each other as our picture, let's use that. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Now we're going to just quickly dive into a little social media and viral marketing.
Joe marketing's so hot right now.
So hot.
Is this where the soap comes in?
I like this. I don't know who you
are.
I
didn't do the soap. I should have done the soap. I forgot about the soap.
We'll do that. We'll do that later.
Grab the soap. I'll come back with the soap. I still got a couple.
Yeah, Pete's got the soap. So these were just social media posts that were marketed under the name of Star Wars. So one great idea was a coffee company teamed with the police to say that they're protecting us from the dark side of the Force. So apparently, coffee company. This was in Australia, by the way. Mm-hmm. So apparently, the dark side of the Force includes arresting Jawas, I guess, and stormtroopers standing outside an RV.
Yeah, it kind of seems like he is the dark side, right? He's hanging out with stormtroopers.
Yeah, exactly. Like during a time of police brutality, probably not the best.
Yeah, what did the Jawas ever do to anybody?
Yeah.
Well, not everybody's good at social media.
Yeah. And my favorite was this out of, I can't remember, I think Malaysia Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
This was a campaign with, but so apparently their great idea was on a plane, mind you, with people on the plane, was to kind of stage a stormtrooper takeover of the plane, complete with Princess Leia and all that. Like it's supposed to be like A New Hope.
Malaysia. That's not.
Oh boy, that seems.
Whoa. Nippon is Japan.
Is it Japan? Sorry, Japan.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. All right.
But in which way, a brilliant idea was to have stormtroopers take over your plane.
It doesn't matter. You don't stage a takeover of a plane. It's just not a good idea in any costume. Whatever you're thinking.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
Then we have Disney Plus's self-own of this was just last year where they were like, oh, Mark, like celebrate May the 4th, make a great celebration. And then they follow that with a post by saying, by sharing the May the 4th hashtag, you're basically agreeing that we own May the 4th. In any and all media, you agree to our terms of use. And people didn't take that very well. So, yeah. Apparently,
what did one guy say? Hey, I love the last comment.
Your trilogy sucks.
Hashtag May the 4th. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I mean, hey, look, that's funny. Somebody should hire that guy because he at least gets it. It's like Arby's.
And this one was weird.
God.
Now, so this was actually successful, but apparently I don't know if it was before Star Wars Celebration was in Anaheim or not, but a few years ago when they did Star Wars Celebration, the Anaheim Angels did Star Wars Night, and they've done it more than once since then. And it's been successful. It's even spread to other ballparks. But the most hilarious thing was these photoshopped pictures of the players as Star Wars characters.
This, I think, is a win. This is a good idea.
Yeah, and you got Pools there as a Jedi, which I
you
think
got
is supposed to be
162 games. You get to take some liberties and have some fun, some nights.
So yeah, this is up for discussion as whether this is a good idea or not.
No,
you guys can debate.
Dave,
Oh, come on, this is hilarious.
Didn't Leaky Trooper tell us a story about when all this kind of started, when they had a Star Wars night and then Vader couldn't get the ball over the plate, and that's when the 501st and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And
supposedly the first one, from what I read online, was notoriously bad. Like it was not bad.
Somewhat legitimized because of that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know the last time
the Diamondbacks had one of their players. His last name's Walker, so they did a Christian Skywalker bobblehead.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's spread because the one on the bottom right there is actually from the Rockies. Had a Star Wars night.
When I was stationed overseas in Japan, I went to several Japanese pro baseball games, and just about every one I went to, maybe everyone I went to, the 7th inning stretch involved stormtroopers and Darth Vader's going out for a little batting practice in the infield. It's always a hit.
Yep.
Get it?
So it's very successful. It just seems weird that this was the scoreboard picture.
Sneaking those dad jokes in.
I picked it up. I was there with you, Jedi. I like it.
Not allowed. It's still
man.
banned. All right. Next up. I even missed it. You're lucky I missed it, or I would have banned you again. All right. So that's it for this week. Next week we'll have something new.
Love it.
Maybe we might go positive, but we might go same as this. We might go other fails for Star Wars. Maybe Star Wars toys fails or whatever.
Maybe we'll mix it up. We'll see.
Maybe we'll teach people how marketing wins. Who knows? All right. Like that was kind of a win of a segment if you have to ask me. Next we've got which is a loss because I forgot what we have next. So
we got
Tales of Terror.
Tales.
Terror.
Yeah, Tales of Terror.
Oh, you want
Pete,
to do
you have that?
Terror?
Mm-hmm. Tales of Terror. I think this is a good one because if we've been on this channel, we've been on Tales for well over a year now, and if we Renovision's we've been lucky enough to be on Renovision for a while now too. But if you remember back in the day with Morello, me, and Solo, we really were into Calvin Scott and the Darkside, the Castle Vader series, Castle Vader series, and it's kind of cool because it looks like they're now doing a Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales, which I love the Lego stuff too. So go ahead, Pete. Let's see what we got.
We got to find the controls here.
Oh, we lost control.
I have it. Well, I'll just have to click on the screen. There we go.
There we go.
All right. Well, this story here, I enjoyed it because I thought it was a really good mashup. Now, it didn't actually follow the Vader's Castle series, on point, and they definitely lightened it up a little bit, made it a little more lighthearted for children. But I thought it was still incredibly really fun. I thought they did a very good job. And I thought it was just an all-around good story.
So I really liked it because they combined two things that I like. They combined the Lego stuff that's non-canon, and they combined Vader's Castle, right, Solo? Like, it was kind of... And they put it into a bunch of different storylines. So, break it down.
And I thought it was neat how they combined some different stories. One of them we saw, and they ad-libbed, obviously, from some comic book series, the Knights of Ren right here. The first one was the Knights of Ren kind of tale. And then
I just got the still.
This is still the intro where they had him on. This is before Vader died.
Poe was flying in, and Vader dies, and anyway, they're on Mustafar, and they're looking. Poe's flying in. He kind of gets jacked up and crashes, and him and BB-8 are walking around. Has a little bit of that Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of vibe, and he's like, "Oh, look, we'll just knock on the castle. We'll use their phone. The castles don't have phones." And so they walk up to here, and they're walking up to Vader's castle, of which they find one of the huts, a new alias hut, has decided to turn Vader's castle, which was abandoned, quote unquote, into a hotel. And so he's trying to obviously become an entrepreneur and use it for all this fun stuff.
It's like the Hard Rock Cafe of
Sith lore. It's a Sith cafe
Sith Lord of Hard Rock of Vader's castle. So then we get the setup of the people. So there's a child there. Who knows? Could have been Broom Boy. But
no, this was
supposedly
the kid was takeoff of the other Lego series that had the what was that family that would do all the building?
Oh, the what were they called? Not
Is
the
that who it is?
Yeah.
folders.
I thought it was.
It's
I
not
couldn't tell.
exactly the same person.
Yeah, but they were supposed to be. They used the same voice actor that voiced the kid in that, and they were originally supposed to be a canon story, and they took it away. And
What are they called? I can't think of what they're called.
Oh God! Well,
Speaking of voice actors, the Hut character is totally Master Shake from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Totally.
What was the Hut guy's name?
Now
Was
you
like
said that, it's
Gravel or
hilarious.
something? Or-
Grotilla the Hut. He shows up. He actually showed up in All Stars. If you watch the Lego All Star thing, which also had those that family from the same family from the building thing, but
Not shipbuilders. It's like
no, but it's close to that. Yeah,
it's something.
Brick Builders. It wasn't Brick Builders.
I couldn't tell if he was just a new
This kid's name was
drop
Dean.
in
Though.
or-
Dean.
Yeah.
Dean Winchester
Dean.
joke.
Yeah, but he kind of referenced them as his parents that used to run a facility that would build ships, and then they lost
Ship
it.
makers.
No, that's not what it's called. I'll get it in a second.
Yeah.
All right.
Ship my
Anyway.
Legos. So he's kind of the estate
Freemakers.
Free makers. There you go.
the estate do all, kind of kid, and he's just a hired hand that's not paid very well, so to speak. And then the emperor and them are all up there and playing with masks and such. So then it kind of breaks down into the first tale of woe they're going to tell, the Lost Boy. So the Lost Boy is kind of a takeoff on they do throw in a little bit of the Lost Boys movie references in here, which was kind of neat.
That was fun.
But this is the Knights of Ren story, but told in a Lost Boys sort of way, where Kylo and those guys are hanging out and they have the altercation.
Yep.
And that's Ren, yes. And
Christian
they
Slater.
kind of having some problems, and then they show Ren in here, and he's got that Lost Boy kind of look hairdo to him.
Yeah, he does have.
Very Kiefer Sutherland like.
Yeah, he does have David hair.
Very Kiefer Sutherland scruffy hair. I thought it was neat. I don't know that many kids will get it, but the adults who do watch it should probably key into it and enjoy that.
That's kind of how all the Lego things, especially, have been. I mean, actually, when we take trips, I let the kids listen to them in the truck so that they can, because it doesn't annoy me as bad when you get some of these adult jokes going through the Lego world, and it pokes fun at it too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
it's still weird though when you have to explain. I had to explain to my son who Christian Slater was by saying he was one of the dads in
you don't
that
do
last Spy Kid movie.
Don't do that. Don't try to explain that of it. Just laugh.
He
And go
understood
like,
once I got to there. It was just weird
Just
that's
roll
how I
with
had
it.
to explain it.
I do remember this isn't canon, but they did add a couple elements in from like Jedi brought this up before. If you keep going, like they brought up a couple elements. I hope they don't use a lot of this stuff to explain Ren and Knights of Ren, but they did bring up a couple shots that were directly out of the comic books, out of actually, what was it, Kylo Ren's storyline, right?
Yeah. Rain. Yeah, they did that. That was one of the visions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Kylo Ren 1 through 5, isn't it?
Yeah, the Will Snidey one. Yeah.
Oh, well, that no.
Oh, they didn't show it, but they did the brick building where they first show Ava Chris. They actually had that scene in here without Ava Chris being in there. So
Yes.
that was kind of cool.
And they were all
right.
sitting there, and that was kind of neat. And then I did enjoy when they did the knockoff of the Lost Boys when they're all hanging under the bridge and they drop into the smoke and stuff. That was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, right
Anyway.
there. Mhm.
And then he gets his helmet and he looks at the helmet, does all that. So kind of tells you the whole Knights of Ren and how Kylo gets the Knights of Ren to follow him, and they did it Lego style. So it was neat, good story. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Then they brought us back to the Vader's Castle.
Yeah, so in Vader's Castle, there was a bunch of Sith artifacts, and they were going to each one, and that each one would tell a different story. So this one was, I can't remember the name of the Darth
Psyduck or
Darth Psyduck. Yeah, okay, cool.
which looks a lot like Darth Revan's lightsaber.
It sure did.
Yeah, it did. And so the story is being told of how they need, or how they found the lightsaber and needed the lightsaber, so they were on the hunt for the lightsaber. The dueling monstrosities.
This was good. I like this too.
So it started out with the Night Sisters, and they're doing some spells and some voodoo magic and bringing some people back on. No, I couldn't tell if they were on Dathomir and just
It is. This is the canon
galaxy
portion.
far away, just sending.
No. This is the canon
magic.
portion of it. This is the canon portion where Maul gets off the planet and Oppress brings him back to the Night Sisters, and the Night Sisters attach new legs to him. It's
That's
actually
thought,
those
but
legs.
on this version,
but they made it silly.
I
Yeah,
couldn't tell if they were actually there or
yeah, they were. They were on Dathomir.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Maybe that's the actual canon portion of it, and then they go to make it silly. Yep.
Yeah, they give him a whole bunch of different legs. They give him like a BB-8 type bottom, and
so we see Darth Maul get his spider legs in his retros, and then we see them starting to talk and describe a little bit about Grievous without revealing him, and then they kind of do the big punch reveal of Grievous, and then Grievous is talking to the Emperor, as you see here, and getting instructions about how to get the lightsaber.
Did anybody find this interesting, though? Like, if they actually wanted to bring Grievous back, they could have done it in the way they I mean, I know this is not canon, but they could have done it in the way they described in Legos, because all they would need was the one upper torso portion and the thing, and everything else could have burned away, and they could have had droids pick them up and rebuild them, which I thought was kind of interesting. But go ahead. Sorry.
So then Darth Maul is listening over the shoulder of the Emperor when he's talking to Grievous, telling him he needs a lightsaber and he wants him to go retrieve it. So Darth Maul is trying to get back in favor with Palps. And so he's like, oh, well, if I can go get this lightsaber, then, hey, you know, Palps will love me again and I'll be his best buddy. So as he hears that, he decides to go after the lightsaber. And that's, let me see, go one more slide.
We get out of the story once I move to the next slide.
Oh.
We get out of the short story into back to the real world again.
I thought there was two more. So then he goes down to the planet, and then they get into a big battle and a big fight.
This is
and
oh wait, there it is.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Sorry.
And then
I don't have the controls up. That's why I can't see what's next.
That's all right. And then they have it out, and basically, Palps, as always, wins and gets the lightsaber back. The end. Kind of fun watch, kind of fun see, kind of fun the way they did it.
I did like when Darth Maul was like, I'm actually a Sith and you're not, and he tore apart Grievous's hands, which was kind of funny.
It was kind of funny. It was kind of neat how they ended up doing it. And when he cuts him in half again, and then he tapes himself back onto his spider legs, I thought was a nice little, funsy with the children's. And I highly recommend watching this with your kids. I found it super enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my son was into it.
What else we got?
Then we go back to the hall where they're all standing, and they're looking at the lightsaber that had been gotten and brought back. And they're reminiscing more about the stories and the whole plot of things that they need. And
kid fixes it.
Yep, fixes the lightsaber. Yep.
And it was broken time and time again. So the kid, Broom Boy, I'm going to call him Broom Boy. I'm stuck on Broom Boy.
It's Dean.
Dean Broom Boy ends up repairing and fixing everything around there, much like Anakin did when he was back on Tatooine for Watto. And so he just kind of pieces it back together, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, lightsaber works. So now they start talking about how they need one more piece, and it would be the Sith holocron.
Yep.
And so he starts telling the story about the Sith holocron and what it does. So then they kind of break into this story, which is the Wookiee's paw, and that's their build up into it, is how lucky and wonderful the holocron can be. And the comparison story is the Wookiee's paw, where someone, I can't remember, Luke ends up finding the Wookiee's paw rather than becoming Luke as we know him. Yep. And so with the Wookiee's paw,
goes to Tashi Station to pick up those power converters.
Yeah, those power converters. somehow Watto's still running his business, and
he ends up finding a Wookiee's paw, which, just like a monkey's paw, apparently gives you wishes. This one doesn't work. So then he ends up asking for, let me see, I forget his first wish. Is to get off the planet and be a pilot.
Then the recruiter comes up. Who wants to sign up for the Empire?
Recruiter comes up and he signs up for the Empire instead of becoming Luke. And he's like, "Hey, wow, look at this!"
This was pretty much a Star Wars "What if Luke turns?"
Yeah, it was. Then he was like a stormtrooper, and then he's like, "I don't want to be a stormtrooper, man. I wish I was a pilot."
And so now he's off of the planet. He wants to be a pilot. He grabs Wookiee's paw. I want to be a pilot. Poof.
What do we do with this pilot uniform? I don't know. Give it to that guy.
Give it to that guy.
It was funny, man.
It was funny.
It was funny. And so now Luke is a pilot, and he goes out and he ends up shooting down Leia and accidentally throwing his lasers down the thermal porthole on the Death Star and blowing it up.
We get there yet? Yeah, he wins that first. Then he wants to
win that first battle to show how good a pilot he was, and then
he saves Darth Vader.
He does save Darth Vader, and they come back and cheer him on, and what a great guy he is. So then Darth was like, "Oh, you are special," and starts training him and giving him lessons with lightsabers.
I like this because I'd like that he got the same training that he did.
He really
got it from Vader. Which I thought
this was a
fun.
great scene too, where he deflects the. I didn't notice till I was doing the slides.
No, he hit the stormtrooper.
Hits the stormtrooper in the leg with the blaster bolt.
He also doesn't use the shield to pull it down. He just flips his helmet around. Why would we have to use the blast
Vader
shield?
was riding him on his back while he was running through the thing. And he gave him the kiss for luck.
Then Tarkin showed up. I was like,
hilarious.
hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Of course Tarkin shows up.
So then
we
he
Did
kind of
they give him the same
Vader's
outfit?
right-hand man.
He gave him the same outfit he showed up to Jabba's palace in too.
Yeah, and the haircut, the comb over.
Yeah, the same Return of the Jedi black outfit, and belt and everything. Luke. And we see then we got Leia and
ObiWan
flying in, and they're trying to take down the new Death Star. And
they make the joke. They're like, "Thanks for saving me, Obi-Wan." Yeah, thanks for saving me from the trash compactor, Leia. It's cute. I mean, they did a good job with it.
Yeah, and then that's how Luke ended up blowing up.
Yeah. So Luke went and tried to shoot Leia instead, messed around, and ended up blowing up the Death Star in accident.
Because he wished he wanted to be the most famous pilot in the galaxy.
Yep, and he became famous by blowing up the Death Star, but accidentally.
Right. Yeah, and becomes the most famous. The guy who blew up the Death Star by accident.
At the end of all the stories, all the artifacts helped Darth Vader's. If you remember from the comic books we brought up earlier, Vader or whatever, the acolyte of Darth Vader, he ended up building a mech. Because that's something they do all the time in Legos. Is just build mechs.
They do in Legos.
The Emperor's nickname for him at the beginning. Did anybody catch that?
Was what?
He's like the Emperor's nickname. he's okay. Darth Hideous, you stay here.
Oh,
as in hideous. Like
yeah, that's funny. All right.
Yeah,
he built a mech.
Big giant mech out of the holocron and the lightsaber and the helmet from all three stories. And then he's walking around, and here's a throwback straight out of Vader's castle, where he ends up using holocron and
droids, The Walking Dead.
Yeah, the Sith Force to make droids, The Walking Dead, and all the zombie droids come up, which I thought it was cool to see, just because it was such a solid throwback to the Castle Vader stories.
Yeah, to the comic books. Yep.
And then Poe and Broom Boy are still trying to figure out how to destroy the mech and get the X-Wing fixed so that he can get off of the planet. And
I love this scene.
The Shining.
Yeah,
the Shining part. That was
here's robot number 426974277, whatever that number was.
Wasn't the other one where they break through? Wasn't that part of one of the Romero zombie ones where they were?
I was thinking The Mummy, the movie The Mummy.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because I think there were skeletons busting out of the wall in that, if I remember right. I don't remember.
So then
This is not Karate Kid. We're still doing Star Wars.
Poe ends up in the skeleton uniform from the hallway where they had all of the stormtrooper display from the hut, who had the entrance adorned with stormtrooper outfits,
Including his own design.
Including his own design. The new skeleton, which I thought was actually the best one out of all of them. The skeleton stormtrooper. Poe ends up in the skeleton outfit, and they end up. I can't remember how they end up killing all the droids.
BB-8 does it.
BB-8 does.
Out of the blue.
That's right.
Did you notice that they turned BB-8 into that droid from Resistance?
I didn't miss it.
Oh, Steve Horns.
The other ball droid.
CB-23.
Not CB-23, but yeah. Yeah, maybe it was CB-23. All right, yeah, go ahead.
So they get back out and they do fix the broom boy gets back out and fixes the X-Wing real quick. They end up while Poe is distracting and fighting the mech droid, and then broom boy comes in with the X-Wing, shoots down on the droid, droid, and the mech droid, and basically blows him up, sets him over the side. Right here, into the pit of lava. And so he shoots him.
Yeah, I was really hoping for a Lord of the Rings moment. I was waiting to hear him
go there. And he has the holocron and everything that goes down into the lava because they are on Mustafar, burns everything up, melts it all down. Then he reaches out.
Yeah, so it's not over. I think the plan. Does everybody get this? I think the plan of this is going to be exactly like The Simpsons when they did Treehouse of Horror. Correct? Is that what everybody got out of this?
Maybe.
They're going to start doing it exactly
like, every year.
Exactly like the comic books. Exactly like everything else. It's going to be now Treehouse of Horror. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I like to see like the droid survived. Like there's half of the droid, and then I guess Darth Hideous his hand.
The droid became Anakin Skywalker.
For the most part, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I thought it was cool. I'd like to see him do it every year. I'd watch it every year, especially for a Halloween special kind of thing. I thought it was enjoyable, and I thought it was great for kids, and it tied in. I really, really enjoyed how they tied in all of the content into one thing for both adult and children. I thought they did a really good job meshing it all together.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with the holiday special. So I was really happy that they went back towards the Freemaker version of this, or even like the Yoda Chronicles, where we get to laugh at Star Wars a little bit and some of the missteps that it takes. At the same time, we incorporate a little bit of the canon in it too, and make it fun enough for a family event. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was really good. So, yeah, just like the comics. Yep, absolutely. I know they're supposedly ending the comics. We'll see. And by the way, what's going on in Secret Jedi text? I mean, we'll see what they actually do with that, because that just might be like they're ending it and they're moving it over to Marvel. We don't quite know, but hopefully that's the case, because I think we all enjoy Vader's Castle, and it'd be cool if they do like Treehouse of Horror with this too. It'd be fun. So, all right. Next up, we've got. Are we doing cards? Or are we doing GameStop? Which one? Your
Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice.
All right, Jedi.
That's why I had to run out. I knew I had another segment coming.
Jedi Johnson has got a shoot Jedi. I don't have it. Does anybody have the Jedi section? Nope. Okay.
I do. You just got to give me a second.
Let's go with then instead. Let's go with GameStop Comics.
You sure? I got this Jedi segment.
All right, go Jedi segment. Go.
Yeah, just 2 seconds while it comes up. There we go.
Now you can block people. Cool.
Good black people.
I don't know. Some message they just sent me. Yeah, there it is. I see it.
Yep. Just gonna add it to the thing.
Okay, so that's the old one.
Oh, that's the one I got.
Okay, that's before we changed the title. So basically, this is this week. This Jedi Star Wars.
Do you want to do the GameStop and then Marco can put up the new one later?
I got the new one right here.
Okay.
We're running a professional studio here.
That's all right.
Yeah, but we're fun.
We're all paid professionals in this.
And gosh darn it, people like
You guys are getting paid?
Hey,
Yeah,
and I
I'm
like
getting
terrifying
paid.
tales. I didn't get to say it because I had to go
Pretty much
run
the
to the
same.
bathroom real quick.
Just got rid of
Terrifying
that.
tales.
Good. There we go. Here we go. There it
Okay,
is.
here we go.
Jedi
Jedi Star Wars Week.
I think we're gonna do this more often because I like Jedi. Jedi, for all those that don't know, Jedi always has some type of experience on the internet. We might turn into Jedi's internet Star Wars of the week because he always has something going on the internet this week. It has to do with card breaking and card breaking cases. If you guys haven't watched our Star Wars Galaxy break case, we did that about a month ago. Feel free to go back and check that out. All right, Jedi, go ahead.
So this week, Jedi's Star Wars Week has to do with cards. Two things. At the end, I'm going to do some cards that I got in the mail that have been kind of my white whale for a while. For some reason, I don't know why, but they have been. So anyway, we'll start off with this one. So I was fortunate enough to stumble upon what was a case break of the Chrome, the Topps Chrome Galaxy that we did a couple of weeks ago. This is still a real hot. I know some other products are either have just been released or about to be released. This is still the hot Star Wars trading card product right now, it seems, from what I've seen. So I saw a beginning of what was a case break they were doing. Of course, it was an auction as well, but they were breaking a whole case on the video. Now the funny thing is, well, I'll get to that later. So
JJ, we should have held out to that case. We should have held out to that case and just done this because the money they're making off this stuff is ridiculous.
These were. I did not buy any of these, by the way. The prices per box were a little steep for me. I think they were asking like $2.15 a box, which is a little steep. But people were buying them. Well, actually, two people were buying them. Only two people were buying them, actually, but they bought all of them. So for those that aren't aware, so a case equals 12 boxes, a case equals 216 packs, and a case equals 864 cards if you do the math. During this break, every type of refractor, parallel was pulled at least once, including the red ones, which are numbered to 5. I think there was like 2 of those. The only one we didn't get was the super refractor, which is the 1 of 1. So I just the next slides are going to show what I say are the hits. The others, they were just about all hit. These are the highlights. So they had 3 sketch cards were hit. An awesome Yoda. That Yoda is awesome.
Yeah, I dig the Yoda.
The other 2, I think I don't know their names, but Rogue One. I think they're
Mads.
Cassian Andor.
Yeah, Mads Malekith's in the
Rogue
room.
One, right?
Yeah, Mads
Andor,
Mikkelsen.
and then
Galen
Urso. Right?
It's Urso. Yeah, the dad Urso is in the middle, and then it's
I don't know who that's supposed to be on the end. I don't know.
It's Cassian.
It's supposed to be what's his name?
Cassian Andor.
Oh, it looked like he had a goatee or something.
No, it's supposed to be Cassian.
But the Yoda was definitely the hit of the sketches. It's the way, I don't know if this picture captured it, but that lightsaber is just fluorescent. It was really cool. So 1 of 1, the cards, just kind of regurgitating some of the stuff we said already. It's signed by the artist. We had 3 pulled in the case, averaged out to about 1 every 4 boxes. I would consider these case hits, but not the case hits. They're rare enough that I would consider them case hits, but not the case hit.
Okay.
Next slide. So this was actually pulled. All the other autographs that were pulled were like Clone Wars voice actors, with the exception of one. Yeah, with the exception of one, the actress that played Jane Erso's mother was also pulled. Who is, well, maybe that's another time, but so this was the hit of the autograph. Well, no one. This was the single autograph hit of the case. This was the only one that was pulled. I'm rambling. 1 auto per box, signed by the actor. 17 were pulled. Now you're probably saying, well, there were 18 boxes. How can it be one? Well, we'll get to that. But this was one of the best highlights, or one of the best autos pulled, numbered to 5. Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. I would consider this a case hit, just because
$1,000 for this card.
At least $1,000. At least $1,000, really, because it's numbered to 5. There are probably other Hayden Christensen.
Okay, time out. Let me get this straight because I'm getting a little confused. One person bought a box, and this showed up in the box. How much did they pay for the box?
$215.
$215.
Yep.
And they pulled $1,000 card.
At least $1,000, I would say, based on what I've seen some other
Good night.
lesser known actors autographs pulling. Plus, this one is numbered to 5. There are probably
think about the other 17 people who are like, man, I didn't get that one.
Oh, definitely. And what's interesting, well, let me say this. So there are probably other Hayden Christensen autographs in this product. This one numbered to 5, so it's essentially a parallel of the autograph. So it's even more rare. It's going to be more expensive. The funny thing about this, I said 2 people were buying these boxes. And there's 12 boxes, right? One person bought 11 boxes. One person bought 1 box. The person that bought the 1 box
yes,
hit this
yes, yes,
nice.
sir. Welcome to the dark side. All right, I
Poetic.
like it.
So throughout this whole thing, one person bought all but 1 box?
Yep, one person bought 11
How many
boxes.
other people were watching? Like,
how many people were watching?
yeah, like who else was in the room with you? Like, how many people?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there was probably
like 20,
at least
30. I'm just curious. Like,
there was probably around 50 viewers. If I had to
People
guess.
love to watch breaking, dude.
People like
Yeah.
to watch them.
Yeah.
People.
I know, but
people
that's what I'm
here
saying.
to
Like,
buy.
50 people watching, but only one guy bought basically everything except for the 1 box that had the hit. Which
Does that autograph card of Hayden Christensen go up after ObiWan and he's in that? Does the value of it go higher?
It could. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it definitely could.
This is why we're doing the segment. Because
This is why we're doing
This is
it,
my
yeah.
favorite. This is my favorite card.
This is why I put it in the chat too, because I know Marco would like this card.
Yeah, this
So
is why.
this is what I would call the hit of the case.
Yes,
case
I agree, 100%.
There was only one pulled. 1 triple autograph was pulled out of the entire case. It was the guy who bought the 11 boxes, so no justice
he still won.
there. Yeah, Max Rebo, Droopy McCool, and Size Noodles. I assume this is the puppeteers that signed this. I assume.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the back of the card said. They probably flashed it real quick. And this one was also numbered to 5, so pretty rare. I did a quick look on eBay as they were doing this one. I saw another one numbered to 5 as well. So I think this one might have been 3 of 5. Don't quote me on that. And the other one I saw on eBay might have been 4 or 5, and they were asking $750 for it.
$750,000. Yeah, for
$750.
yes, for Max Rebel's signature. Absolutely. That sounds like
worth every penny. Worth every penny.
Because that looks like a mic written down there on that bottom signature.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't care about. I mean, Droopy's awesome. Sai, okay, she's whatever. But
she actually sang, so there could be the voice. You know,
Max is. Yep. You're going for Max and Droopy on this one. Definitely worth the $750,000 for this.
So the rest of my Star Wars presentation for my Star Wars week, I'm going to switch cameras. Hopefully I don't disconnect, but this is something. So this is also kind of my pickup segment. And I'll go through these real quick.
Okay. Okay. Hold on, buddy.
No.
There we go.
Fine. There you go.
You got me?
Oh, I know,
Yep,
I
you're
know
good.
that
Go.
is just from the edge.
Okay, so I've been after these for one particular card. I've been after these for a while.
Last week.
Oh, wrong way. So this is the first cards out of the 1980 Topps Empire Strikes Back card set.
Cool.
So this is the number 1 Vader. Yeah, okay, cool.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
We've got the Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
With Han's gun.
It's Han's blaster for some reason. Yeah.
No, that's
We've
his
got-
gun that he walks around with in Empire
sure.
when he's shooting back at Boba.
We've got Leia. We've got Han. We're
There
getting
you
to the good stuff. So if you're one of those people that believe that Star Wars has rookie cards, this is not one. I know that's kind of some sort of a Chewbacca.
Oh,
Did you say rookie or Wookiee cards?
Wookie cards.
That's a Wookiee card.
Wookiee rookies.
This is why I bought it. No, this is not why I bought it, but it is a good bonus. We're getting there.
The limit to 5 is being overpassed here.
Okay, so this would be a Lando Calrissian rookie
It
card.
froze right on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you go?
Nice.
Yeah, we got it.
Am I back? Okay.
Nice.
So if you think Star Wars has rookie cards, this is considered a Lando rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is considered probably the Yoda rookie card, if you say there is such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Vader, not a rookie card, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I've been after for a long time and can never pull the trigger. I got all of these for about $30.
Now that should be the rookie card as well, correct?
That is the rookie card, or considered his rookie card. This is the one I've been after for a while. They're normally, some of them are in pretty bad shape. You can get for pretty, for $10 or left. I paid $30 for all of these cards.
Oh wow. Nice pickup.
Yeah, and this one, this Boba Fett is pretty sharp on the corners. The top left, a little fuzzy, but other than that, the corners are very sharp. I couldn't believe the guy was only asking $30 for them.
Did he give you those little magnet cases, or
No, those are mine. I threw those.
How did he send them to you? Just stacked them?
Top loaders.
Okay, well, at least they're in top loaders.
I like that Michelangelo rookie card, the sticker rookie card that you have over there too.
I was just expecting a guy putting them in a Ziploc bag and stick them in a middle envelope and just mail them to you for $30.
Yeah, really. No, good stuff.
I'm right there. I'm eyeballing that Michelangelo as well. I like that.
From the Turtle series of cards.
Yeah.
That's a rookie. Good job.
I kind of want pizza now that you guys are talking about Michelangelo.
Good stuff, Jedi. Thank you for the Jedi experience. We've got one last. We're going to end on comics, right? We're ending on comics this week. We're ending on GameStop covers. Something we're going to do. We're going to just start covering a lot of us collecting runs, a lot of us show off stuff. There's actually some guy who's trolling us for a while, telling us like, oh, you guys love to show off what you got, but then you complain about comics. And the truth of the matter is a lot of us collect runs and stuff like that. And yeah, we're honest about it. If we like it, we'll let you know. And if we don't, we don't. So JJ is going to go through a little bit here. It's the GameStop covers, because I know we've shown off GameStop covers in the last couple of months, one here, one there randomly. So we're going to go through the whole set, kind of create a checklist for you. If that's something you're after, some of them sometimes there might be expensive ones. Sometimes there might not be. But here we go.
This is the list. These are the ones that are out there.
This is it. So, covering the galaxy of exclusive covers. GameStop version. So, power to the player. Okay. So, first up, the first one was actually in the Dark Horse ages. Back in 2013, they had this one. Now, this one was one of the few ones I could find a solid print run. So, it's Star Wars number run, second volume for Dark Horse 2013. And you had, I believe, limited to 3,000, and it was pretty strict, which actually for a Dark Horse limited is kind of high. But still, one of the few ones I could find like a definitive print run on. Everything else was kind of sketchy. And then you had these great Greg Horn.
I like these.
Yeah. I guess I don't know if we would call it propaganda covers, propaganda poster covers, but Star Wars number 1, which was from the 2015, so it's the first Marvel one that had Luke on it, and then you had Leia, Princess Leia number 1, which of course has her on it. So these couldn't find out exact print runs on. I saw one thing that was 10,000, another one that was 5,000. So
they made different amounts for the thing. David, I think what we were trying to say there, maybe we misspoke. It's not about price or rarity or first appearance on these. These are just to collect.
And some of these are more rare than others.
I think these. I know the Star Wars one. You can get these for $20 or less. Yeah, probably less.
Yeah,
these are not expensive.
Yeah, these are all pretty. The Leia one's actually a little pricey sometimes, but you can still get it pretty cheap. I mean, none of these, almost none of these are going to be triple-digit comics that you see in this thing. Yeah. So we'll dispense with that.
Collectors, you know what I mean?
But and again, so some of these, I guess, if you want to call it limited in the sense that they were limited, that they were only supposed to be for Power Up Rewards members. There are a few included in here, and I'll get to them later, that are for just generally sold in GameStop stores. As
did you add the Vader, or did you not do the Vader?
Yep, I sure did. So hit the next slide for me. One. So you got Darth Vader number 1, which came in 2 flavors. So the first one there on the left that was just the straight up one that is just sold in GameStop stores. So it's GameStop exclusive. Yeah, you just walk in and buy it for cover price. And then you had, this was the one which Jedi's favorite Greg Horn cover there. of Darth Vader 1, which was limited to the GameStop rewards. So you had to reclaim, and these things were expensive rewards points. Like, I don't remember how many rewards points you got for buying like a game, but like to cash one of these in was like 6,000 points or something ridiculous. Like, so
yeah, but there were ways with GameStop. I didn't understand GameStop's business model.
There was all kinds of bonuses and
get tons of points for just buying yard sale garbage and trading it in, and like, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, and then you had Han Solo number 1, which again, rewards version. So interesting.
I don't think that one's very expensive, but I have not seen that Han Solo number 1 ever, and I have been looking because I like that cover a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Hit the next slide for me. Yeah, we get to that in this next slide here. So these two were connecting covers for Star Wars number 4.
Cool, I love those.
Yeah. So for the first Marvel run there, number 4, and you had the Rebels one, which was the one just generally sold in GameStop stores, and you had the connecting version, which was the Empire run, which was the rewards version, and that's the one
the more sought after.
That one could be triple digit. That one could.
Yeah, it squeaks here and there. Like it comes in and out. You don't see it up too often, like on eBay. Like if you look, you'll see a couple copies, but not, and then you'll see like a ton of copies of the Rebels version. So it's kind of crazy. But this is one that I don't think you see very often, just because nobody wants it.
Nobody cares.
It's a C-3PO one shot.
Careful.
Very few people.
Tell them, Jedi.
It's rare because rarely does anybody look for this book.
I bought them all out. That's why there's none out there. I own all of them.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know if I have this one, to be honest.
But no, these were straight up just sold. They weren't rewards member points or anything.
That one looks like it was sold at Target when you look at the logo box there.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, they did change the logo box on a couple of these, but yeah. So they had like the exclusive thing, and then for this, they just said only at GameStop, which I guess decided to change it up. But hit the next slide for me. So this was another interesting one where they did too. Vader Down has about 1 billion exclusives for that one shot, which we will get into in later weeks. But so but it's a great Francavilla cover, in my opinion. So you got the color version there on the left as the regular number 1. Again, that one was just sold in stores, cover price. And then you have the rewards version, which was the black and white version.
It's the Schindler's List version. We got a little bit of red.
And just to give reverence, I can't remember, but I think I got it for $1 or $2. We showed that off a couple weeks ago, which kind of started this off.
Yep.
I mean, that's literally what we're looking at. The price on these is showing up in dollar bins or $2 bins. So,
yeah. And then you got Shattered Empire number 1. So that was an exclusive, just sold in stores, not rewards or anything.
And
when they were sold in stores,
80,000 covers of that too.
They were. I think they were. Everything was polybagged. I'm pretty sure.
Everything was polybagged.
Yeah, it comes in a polybag like this here.
Yep.
So
and
it's boarded too. It comes with a board.
Yeah, with like a plain crappy board in the back.
That's why they're in the dollar bins on the East Coast, but here on the West Coast, they're actually behind the counter up on a wall. And
no, you just gotta once again
because that polybag.
Once again, as we always state about the East Coast. How come whenever we talk to any of the MCM guys, it's always like, we can never find a comic. But whenever we get any of the dealers out there in Arizona, they're like, holy shit, comics are all over the place. I think you just got to hustle a little harder, man.
You just got to drive a lot more around here.
Yeah, that's how it works here too.
Yeah. Time is a lot.
That's how it works in the Midwest and the East Coast. Yes.
Yeah, you got to put in that time.
It's what hunting for comics works. That's how it works.
So hot outside.
Yeah, the bizarre thing about
it's hot. That 30 to 40 minutes in your car when it's 120 degrees down here, that turns right into a 3-hour excursion quick, I tell you.
Yeah. The bizarre thing about these GameStop ones too is like, and David brings up a good point. Like, you can talk print runs all you want, but like they were supposed to be reward redemptions only, so you don't really know what happened to the other ones. Like, I know they probably didn't pulp them, but did they just end up selling them in stores?
No, the place.
The pallets ended up in Dallas.
Yeah, I guess they in a warehouse somewhere still, maybe. I don't know. You don't really ever know. So, on to the next one for me.
Yep.
So again, you got a Poe. You got a double. So you got the Poe Dameron number 1. Yep. Yeah.
You got the Target version.
Target version sold there on the left, and then you have the rewards version, which again was just the black and white version.
I hate
of the regular.
More than black and white versions of a color for doing 2 different variants. I just hate that.
Yeah, I do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what you could do? you could do like
just
a
do an
shadow
interior
version.
page. Yeah, that could be shitty too. Yes.
No, I'll take an interior. I'd rather have an interior page than you just recolor, like with we'll make it a shadow version.
No, and
You just made
then
everything dark and harder to see.
to cap it off, I wanted to come up with a bonus one. So to cap it off, Star Wars #1. This is the Think Geek cover, which I included because Think Geek is actually owned by GameStop, and they actually bought them shortly before this comic came out. So, and that's our bonus for this little round of exclusive covers. So.
No, Dave, I don't think Dave asked an interesting question. No, Dave, but like sometimes you collect random. I mean, I don't know. Apparently you don't, but the rest of us collect random stuff sometimes. Sometimes it's exclusive. Sometimes it's
and I don't know. Like I don't consider a run, but like for instance,
these are cheap and like if you're like all of a sudden you get 5 of them, you're like shit. I got to collect the.
And
other
some
2.
people when they collect a run collect all the variants. Now, like you gotta have to be like you have to be like rich Uncle Pennybags to collect like every single Vader down, but. Some people,
but no, like I mean, I think this is fun. I think when you're hunting for other stuff, it's all I don't know, David. I don't know how you do it, but usually when I'm hunting for other stuff, if I see something like this, it gives us a little bonus.
Now,
and
I'm a completionist, but when I'm looking for all of those Vader downs, or I'm looking for all of those Target Vader #1s, or all of those, I'm looking for the deal in the best condition. Like if sure, I can go buy them off of eBay right now for $30 or $40, but I want to find them for $1, $2, $5. Like I'm not paying over cover price for them.
Yeah. To answer David's question, I think it's different for all types of people. Like me, is somebody who like when I'm bored, I'll just F around and all of a sudden like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get all the GameStop exclusives because that's kind of stupid. Like if I can get them for $1, it's funny. You know what I mean? It's just like an extra.
Well, I think it's usually spawned by something you find. You find one, then you figure, you know what? I'll go get the rest of them if I can. If you find 2 out of 10.
Yeah, and for me, it's the like Solo kind of said, it's the hunt of finding something unusual. Like like that Think Geek cover. I don't see it a lot. If I came across it, I would be like, hey, I really like that cover.
Yeah, but
pick it up.
We know this from what Solo does. Like if Solo gets hooked on something, like if he's all of a sudden he hears GameStop, he's like, cool, and he'll go out and get every single one now
and have a short box full of Vader down variants.
Or if you're crazy like me, if you're crazy like me, and I've talked about it before on the pickups part of this show, I try to collect all the Dark Horse variants.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, that's crazy and stupid, but it's something I'm doing.
I mean, I think that I don't. If David asks if he thinks that's bad for the hobby, no, I think that part's good for the hobby. What I think's bad for the hobby is when people try to jack up that stuff and create a false narrative of scarcity and importance. I think that's an issue. We're not telling you here for the most part, like, we're honest. That one, because of and honestly, it's because it's got the bounty hunters on it. That one's a little bit more expensive.
It's a little more expensive.
But to be honest with you, a lot of these are dollar bin diggers if you can find them. And if not, they're just laying around someplace. So just dig for them. Like, it's something fun to do. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it.
I am looking for that $5,000 Vader down,
but
me too. I'm not paying. I don't. I want it for $10. Like when I stumble across that,
there's
someday,
stuff. I'll be honest with you. I've seen Solo. He sometimes gets what's it? FOMO. So he tries to get it cheap, but sometimes he does overpay for it. And the same thing happens to JJ. I will give you that. I'll give you that. But I think, in all honesty, like it's not bad. I mean, shit, I think I'm on my 3rd run of Age of the Apocalypse now, and now I'm starting to not buy them because a couple of them are getting expensive. Like, it's just shit we do in the hobby that's kind of fun. I think if you're not doing it, I'm not saying you're doing it wrong, but like...
And I'm constantly
collects a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I think everyone hunts differently too, because... And I've said this before when he was on here, my hunting philosophy is a lot like Dom Tober's. I will pay a little more because I don't want to go out and, my knees are bad. I'm not getting on the floor going through dollar bins. I'm not doing that. So I will pay an eBay price if it's something that I want.
Well, and there's one on here that I probably definitely probably overpaid for, which was, and I couldn't find it anywhere for the longest time. Like I was looking for it for like 2 years and I really wanted it, which was the Empire version with the bounty hunters on it right there in the middle, and couldn't find it anywhere. And I mean, I didn't pay a crazy amount. I think I paid like 50 or 60 for it.
Yeah,
which for one comic,
wrong with that. Like,
but I mean, I really wanted it. I couldn't find it anywhere else.
And I think that's the point, because I think the concept of overpaying is only relevant if you plan on trying to sell it again. Otherwise, whatever it costs, as long as you're comfortable paying that cost, who cares? That's your money. You buy what you want.
Plus, it was a conducting cover that was slapping me in the face. Like I wanted the other half of it.
Right.
I only have one.
You guys want to hear something funny?
Inside.
And the guys on Darkside know this, but I've never bought anything off of eBay. Like I've never bought a single comic off of eBay. I literally just love hunting through dollar bin boxes. I love LCSs and I love cons, and that's where I get all my stuff, or I buy collections. But I've never once bought off of eBay for comics. Like,
and the purpose of this segment isn't to elevate GameStop or say go buy these covers. It's more to show people like these are all past exclusive. These are all 3, 4, 5 years old. It's to go show people, like, hey, these were the covers. If you like any ever interest them, keep your eyes open for them. They're out there.
Yep, absolutely.
And for someone like me, I live in Hawaii. There's not a whole lot of cons here, especially now. There used to be a couple. And for one of the reasons I wanted to get the Greg Horn issues is because I had the opportunity to meet Greg Horn at one of the cons here, and he was a great guy. He was like super fun to talk to, and he was very engaging. And I just kind of said, hey, this is a good dude. From what I know about him, he's a good dude, and I'm gonna buy some of his stuff.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of the great thing about the internet and all that stuff. There's a lot of new places all over the internet. You can long box dig from your chair. I mean, there's a lot of auction sites. There's a lot of places you can sit and just scroll through for hours, and they just have books and books and books and books.
But I just don't think that's not my style. Like that doesn't getting out there and digging.
But for the people who, you're one of the
people. But I don't knock it. Look, I feel
it.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't knock it at all. Like, dude, if that's your thing, I know that's a lot of people's things and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, I know it's crazy being on a YouTube thing and having people you don't shop on the internet, but no, man. I mean, I never started doing that. And
certain people are hampered by location, a lot of shops.
Yeah, and absolutely. Like, I'm not knocking it at all. It's just not something I do. That's not my fun. You know what I mean? So.
But I think the worst thing is when you do find something that's really cheap and you find a book, even online, you find on eBay, it's only $3. And it's I got to pay $8 shipping. And then you spend 30 minutes scrolling through that same seller's stuff to find other stuff you might want to help defer that shipping cost. Because otherwise you're like, well, I like it at $3, but do I want to pay $11? Well, maybe if I can get a couple other $3 books.
Do you guys think the internet has internet shopping? Now, I'm not saying about shows and everything else and everything, but do you think internet shopping has, because you guys know this, you've heard stories behind the scenes. I have zero FOMO. I just don't have it. Do you think that internet shopping might be a cause a little bit maybe of FOMO?
Yeah. Well, I think lately now too, it makes it worse. I mean, because for a year and a half, we didn't have cons to go to dig for stuff. Some shops were closed.
We still found a way. I mean,
but I mean, I think that contributes to it. Like you see something and for about a year or so, the only place where a lot of people could go get it was online. Yeah. So
no, but I just mean because the basis of a lot of it is you're following something or you're watching something and you're watching the price and then you're seeing it disappear. Right. So it's causing this FOMO for you, and you see it a lot. And
I think the thing that causes it the most is social media.
I don't know if FOMO is the right word. I think it's just ease. A lot of people, I think, click on it and buy it just because it's more easy and more accessible. So they're like, oh, I'm looking, I'm scrolling, I'm checking stuff out. Oh, hey, I dig that book. Click, bought. So it's maybe not so much that they're, oh, I got to have it, whatever. But it's right there. It's easy. It's accessible. Cool. I got it.
It's a mixture of that because it's a matter of, hey, I was looking through my Instagram feed and 3 people I follow all had this book. I kind of like it. Can I get one? And then they look on eBay or whatever they're looking and they go, oh, there's only 2 copies up. Oh, now there's only 1. I guess if I want it, I better get it now.
See, I find the enjoyment to hunt it to do it. Real quickly, we got a little hashtag. It looks like Comic Book Jesus came in here. Hey, Marco does share a lot. Feel free. We always bring people on to Tales from the Dark Side. Dark Side's a very friendly and cheerful place. If you want, come on, just hit us up with a DM. Look, Sam's here. Everybody else, we welcome you as long as you got a good mic and good camera. More than welcome to come on. So spec shows grow FOMO. Yeah, I know they do, David. I know that they do, but I have a feeling that a lot of times, like Pete said, when you see it, you see 2 copies left.
Mhm.
There's 5 copies now. There's 2. There's 3. There's 1. People are like, oh crud, I better buy it at home. Like where I think the perfect example of that is like Yellow Claw #2, and this is actually a story with Dino, and he didn't get it originally. He's like, he knew I was hunting for Yellow Claw #2 to finish off my Yellow Claw run, which is only 5 books long. It's not a Star Wars thing, but whatever. And I wanted a certain grade and everything else, but the other part was like I had to find it. You know what I mean? And this is back when cons were open and everything else. And Dino would call me all the time and go like, "Hey, dude, the book's here. You want me to negotiate the price for you?" It's like, no, I don't. I want to find it myself.
Yeah.
And then negotiate the price, you know, like that's the enjoyment I get out of it. Where I think like on the internet, people see it and they just want to, you know, they're like, crap, like Pete said, 5, 4, 3. Oh, I better grab it real quick.
If I could offer just a little advice, I would say you just kind of need to know yourself.
Yeah.
If you're an impulse buyer, I would say be careful watching the spec shows.
Mm-hmm.
But you just kind of know yourself in that regard.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit of an impulse buyer, so I just have to be careful when I watch some of these spec shows and kind of just like, you know, just guard against myself, really. But
I
mean, that's on me to do, really, when you get down to it.
Yeah,
No, I get that because I mean, I do a heck of a lot of shows, and I try my best to qualify when I'm talking about books. Like, I might like it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you to buy this. I'm just telling you.
I know.
like
I just get sick of saying that sometimes. I know we have to say it.
I'm giving you information.
I know we have to say it because people get confused. Brian, by the way, you're more than welcome. If you want to hang out with all those guys, you're more than welcome to come on this show anytime you want. More than welcome, brother. Feel free. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how it is for everybody else. Sam, do you have any opinions on that at all? I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that the first rule of FOMO is buy high, sell at a loss.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll learn your lesson real quick.
100%.
Yeah.
Real quick to cap off that segment, I want to say if I missed anything, feel free to put it in the chat or the comments, anything like that.
The next one.
And if you want to see Galaxy of exclusive covers, a theme or something like that, that's not GameStop or something, shout it out as well.
Anything you guys want, anything that you guys like seriously, if there's a run or something you like or a certain type of cover or an artist at the Star Wars thing, let us know. We'll put it together and we'll put it out there for you guys. We're more than happy to do that for you. I wouldn't even know about Darth Revan. I think there's still a lot of people who don't know about Darth Revan, like, and think they do. Like, we talk about it on this show a lot of times. Like when they say, and friends of ours will come onto the show and say like, well, Darth Revan's coming. And we're like, Darth Revan's coming, huh? When like 20 years? Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I get it, man. I hear what you're saying.
Him and Mephisto are going to come in together holding hands, riding a...
With Omega Red right behind him.
Right. Yeah, with Omega Red and Mephisto. Brian's really trying to scout people at this point. I guess he's one of those dirty flippers, huh? So there we go.
You didn't watch last night's show at all, did you, Marco?
I only watch shows. The only reason I know what goes on the internet is if I'm on the internet. If I'm not, ask Pete. He asks me all the time. I don't know. Like, I only know what goes on.
I ask you all the time.
Well, you're like, hey, did you catch this? And I'm like, no, I really
only if I guess. All right, if I catch something,
yeah.
I'll try to catch.
I literally only know what goes on the. I'm like, I only know I'm on the internet. That's the only time I'm on the internet. Besides that, I'm watching historical documents or old Japanese films. So, like, no, I have no clue what I'm on.
I'm on the internet.
MPM was going on last night. I was sitting by myself talking for 45 minutes to nobody about Venom covers because I was just recording something by myself.
Yeah, and like the state game ran late, and I know it's Western Kentucky, but I mean, like, it's ball night, bro. I mean, I don't know. I didn't watch, and then I had kid birthdays and shit going on.
Okay, Marco. Rule number 1 of making friends on the internet is you got to be on the internet.
There's that.
I like you guys. You guys are all my friends. I did well. Okay, there we go.
I have a lot of friends on the internet. They keep asking me to come over. You know, like,
who's that now? Oh yeah, probably.
Want me to send these personal pics? But, you know.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about those little portal things that pop up all the time? That's why I stay off the internet, man. Yeah, it can ruin you, dude. You don't get human interaction.
That's funny.
Anymore.
I have a lot of friends on the internet, and they all keep telling me to stay exactly where I'm at.
I'm lost, guys. I mean, you guys can start talking. I mean, are we? Is this a Star Trek joke at this point?
No, it's the FBI. Stay where you are. We're coming to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good
We
to see
won't
that,
get on
Brian.
your
Brian,
lawn.
thank you for showing up. Astro, Sacred Jedi Text. David, it's always good. You make great points. We really like it. Both Chads, Chad Farr and the other Chad, Tony. Good to see you. Shannon, Sean. Oh, Ed. Hopefully you watched all the way through on the replay. And
Oh,
thank you
two
for
and a
the
half
algorithm.
hours plus.
We really do appreciate it. Also, the smart farts person that farts all the time. Good for
So
you
farts
too.
a lot.
Yeah, farts a lot. Good. Got you all down there. I'm trying to get to it, Pete.
Last week was
I
fart
got it.
jokes.
All
Just
right,
give
we
me the
got
high
a bunch
sign.
of good stuff next week. Make sure you check us out next week. We appreciate it, y'all. Thank you very much. Give us the likes, whatever Renovision entails. Have a good one.